quarter, so Cho Cullen getting away with a nice lead here. In second is Bride and Delight, and third is JD's Dream for the godfather of New Zealand amateur drivers, and Steve Phillips, and back last is Hugh Hefner. They're on the stables corner, their final occasion, and Cho Cullen, 900 left to go, leads a length and a half, Bride and Delight. They're followed by JD's Dream. And back last Hugh Hefner, but looking to make a move now for Michelle Northcott. 33 and 4 was the second quarter, so 67 1/2. They'll sprint home for sure. Down the back goes Cho Cullen. Bride and Delights enjoyed the economical run in the trail for the ad man Adam White. Coming up over on the outside now is Hugh Hefner. And now back last is JD's Dream. They pace to the end of the back straight. 500 metres left to go. Cho Cullen increases the tempo. Hugh Hefner's a length away. Bride and Delight will wait the passing lane run as they sweep across the showgrounds turn. And then JD's Dream, the quarter down the back. 32.4 Cho Cullen. With up on the outside, Hugh Hefner just negotiating that final bend a wee bit awkwardly. And Bride and Delight waiting the passing lane. Then JD's Dream. Hugh Hefner goes to Cho Cullen. Bride and Delight on the passing lane, and then JD's Dream 100 to go. Hugh Hefner, Michelle Northcott comes away strongly, and he'll put them to bed easily here. Hugh Hefner. Second over will be Bride and Delight, and third Cho Cullen, and last of the four will be JD's Dream. 2:48.8 the overall time. And a nice win here by Hugh Hefner sitting out the back. Michelle Northcott made her move at the 850, was putting the pressure on to Bride and Delight. Coming around the final corner, it didn't negotiate the final turn all that well, but once he balanced up, he's raced right away. Hugh Hefner will towel them in the first. Second over will be Bride and Delight in front of Cho Cullen, and JD's Dream the fourth in.
Official placings race 1, the Dexian Storage Systems Amateur Drivers Mobile Pace. 5473. 5473 all confirmed. Horse 5, Hugh Hefner paced the 2200 metres in 2:48.69. That's a mile rate of 23.3. Last 858.4 and 427.5. Margin 6.5 lengths, half neck, 1 length. 5, 4, 7 and 3 in race 1, the Dexian Storage Systems Amateur Drivers Mobile Pace.
Judge Graham McLennan with his opening call, and Michelle Northcott back at the head of the field. The Falcon Seals to Bay, 5-year-old gelding out of Royal Chanel, raced by G.A. Rogerson, E. Thompson and A.J. Hughes. Win 8 at start 43 tonight. Graham Rogerson, Peter Blanchard prepared out of their Tui Karamia base in Hamilton, and beautifully handled by that girl again, Michelle Northcott. 4 Bride and Delights. Home for second, Better's Delight, Shelley Bryden, 6-year-old Bay Gelding, raced by B.L. Newbury. Tony Grayling trained at Pukekohe and Adam White. And in for third, the 7 Cho Cullen, Christian Cullen, Bay 6-year-old gelding out of Chokan, G.P. Barrett, along with Mrs. C.A. McClay and Mrs. N.J. Hackett, the owners. Michelle Wallace, Bernie Hackett, trained at Waiuku, and Sue Blake. Number 5, Hugh Hefner, $2.80, $2.80, no place Paul. Quaddie returns $1.30, $1.30. Trifecta $10.60, $10.60. And the first 4, $11.20, $11.20.
750 gives $8 instead of $6. Tons more sort of like that. Bet types to do with how many the Purdon Rasmussen team will win and which island will have the most winners trained from. All sorts of things happening. So if you've done all your research for the jewels, thinking what you're thinking, you can maybe have a look there to have a couple of extra things happening. Up next is Forbury Park, and we're up to race number 2 from Dunedin. Race number 2, meeting code number 8, of course, for them. And it's the Mosil Motorcourt Claimers Series. And we've got a 2,200 metre mobile for the Claimers tonight. Claimers up to 7,500. So there is one at the maximum. That is the 7 high gun. 7,500 claims him. Tagatese, the 4, is only a 4-year-old. He's by Bettor's Delight. $7,000 claims Tagatese. That's a fairly decent pick-up for that sort of price, I would have thought. Cullen's Finest is the favourite at 280, 155, 270 and 130. Cullen's Finest has been terrific this time in. Was winning claim, then running second to Lionel's Medal when he absolutely destroyed them, and then winning again in claiming company when Lionel's Medal went away from the claiming grade. So that's about as good as it can be so far in the claimers in the south. What's happening so far in the Streamline Freight Driver Challenge? Well, after the first race, maximum points to Matthew Williamson driving for Father Phil, and beyond a joke to the winner. Nathan is 2 points and Rory is 1. So Matthew Williamson, who was the short price favourite, collects the max amount of points after the first on the card. He's driving the favourite in this one, Cullen's Finest. He's a very good chance to collect more, if not the full 3. High Gun, the 7, is going super for a horse who was retired about a year ago, but he was sort of back in work with the Knight stable, helping to educate younger horses, and he was working so strongly that they thought that'll give him another go. And hasn't he returned on that sort of belief with 3 placings this time in the claiming grade, 2nd, 3rd and 2nd for High Gun. And you certainly wouldn't rule him out being right there in, well, the pointy end of things. Number 6 is Rome. Now, number 6, Rome, the bit snapped last week, and that obviously put him out of calculations. But the stablemate, driven by Brad Williamson, Del Sur, sort of pulled up and took hold of him, did Brad, and to make sure that Rome and Rory were safe and to get around in one piece. So, yeah, the bit snapped last week on Rome. That was maybe, with 600 to go? I can't quite remember exactly where it was, maybe a little less than that. And Brad pulled his horse out of it, Del Sur, who was posted wide. It was sort of travelling okay at the time. And they just had to make sure that Rory and Rome were okay. Other claimers in the race, the Witch Doctor is the cheapest to the lot. You can get the Witch Doctor for $3,000. That's the one horse who is at around $12. Stephen Golding driving for Jeff and Jude Knight, who have 3 in the race, and they're always well represented. They support the claiming grades as best as anyone, and they were trifecta in claiming race just the other week or so. Jason Tees, we've had your numbers on screen for a moment, and the claiming grade, you've got Cullen's Finest.
This is my bet of the night too, Russell. $2.80, $1.40. Good money, I thought. Did Bolton last week, and the Knight stable, I think they're going to take this race out. Just depends with which one. I did think Cullen's Finest was the best of their 3, though. High Gun, racing incredibly well, the 10-year-old, and he's put in 3 very good placings. He the second was behind Cullen's Finest last week, and the Knights, they got the trifecta last week with the Witch Doctor. I think he'll run 4th. I put here Shifty in for 3rd. He was a bit disappointing to me last week. He drew out of it. He's drawn much handier tonight, and if he doesn't get money in this race tonight, I don't think they'll be able to tip him again here, Shifty. But this is his sort of race, and if he was to put himself into the contest, he'd be right there at the finish. And of course, number 1, the Witch Doctor, he led from the draw, just the $3,000 claim at the cheapest horse in the race if you want to claim him. And he's off the inside. So 5-7-2-1. I left out Tarja Teasy. He's been rolled a couple of times when he probably should have won. He got beat in an amateur drivers event at Oamaru about 10 or 11 days ago when looking the winner. And then Winton in the Maiden Claimers final on Sunday. He had every show and he got beat by Pay Me Quick. So I can't have him here, and I've left him out completely. Not to say he couldn't run in 4. I'm just thinking if he couldn't win a maiden claimer, he's not going to beat horses who have won 12 races. So I've left him out. Number 4, he's too short for mine, Russell. We're about 3 minutes out from race number 2 on the card. Another heat of a claimers series, and I think the final might be next Thursday. So it's going to be an interesting final, and I guess we're going to see Lionel's medal in that, so I guess all these claimers will be trying to make hay while the sun shines tonight.
Well, it seems that way, doesn't it? But Lionel's medal, he's come on since his first up run, where he's disappointing in the claiming grade, but he quickly put paid to that and put paid to his rivals by, what was it, 15? No, 14 lengths back on the 9th of May, and yet you'd assume he would be back for the final. Lionel's medal. So $3, 165, 270 and 150. Cullen's Finest. What else have we got here? Here's Shifty the 2 for the Kennets. Craig and Josh, 650, 285, 770 and $2.80. Last time I did a little bit of work in running, and it sort of kept trying. It was 4 lengths off the action, running 5th. Here's Shifty. It's a handy draw, and it is certainly safe with bookies at $6.50 more on the tote. You can hope that 770 holds up. This one starts a TAB double with the 3rd race to conclude that. That's time to go at 5 minutes after 7, and just on race start times, they have gone back a race there at Alexandra Park, as seemed what would be the case. So race number 2 is going to go where race number 3 was scheduled to be, that at 5 minutes to 7. 5 minutes to 7 for the 2nd from Alexandra Park, and their final race is going to go at 20 minutes to 11. 10:40 for the last. That's where the final race is penciled in for. Yeah, the 3rd race at Forbury, that one features El Raza, who's been placed in all 3 so far, and looks to be building towards its first win. That's $2.10 with the bookmakers. Mordecai's just had 2 runs, has looked certainly adequate, running a good second last time, $3. Blazing Bracelet came from a mile back the other day to run 3rd. It's $10 with the bookmakers. It is off the unruly from Mobile, so that obviously an issue. But a big run last time to get into the placings. That's race number 3 in the 2nd leg of the TAB double, starting on this, the 2nd, and for the claimers. Cullen's Finest, the 8-year-old gelding by Christian Cullen, out of Sally Fine, a dancing master mare. For the Corner Shop and the Morning Night Syndicate, looking for his 13th victory. Cullen's Finest. He's $3 option 802, $2.80 on the tote. High Gun trumps that with age. He's 10. Doesn't trump the wins though. He's had 9 of those. The gelding by Washington VC for the Turners and the Who's Driving Syndicate. They are the first 2 favourites in the 2nd from Forbury. 7 High Gun. The 6, Rome, an 8-year-old by Julius Caesar. Just the 3 wins for him. A Rome for Lionel Cinnamon, who has that, and Del Sur, 9-year-old, who is sired by Washington VC. Johnny Cox drives for Graham Anderson. Take it easy. He's the baby of the field, a 4-year-old. Let's see how the claimers do in race number 2, behind the Mobile with Jason Tees.
Thank you, Russell. And the Mosil motorcourt claimers field head round towards the starting point. Just the field of 7. Jeff and Jude Knight of 3. They provided the trifecta last week. So round towards the starting point. Race 2 of 7, almost there. There's the green light. They're away and pacing. On the inside, the Witch Doctor, the first away. On the outside, Target Teasy left the gate well. Here's Shifty dropping in for an early trail. Wider out on the track then is Del Sur, pushing through Cullen's Finest, High Gun, and back to last early is Rome. They leave the straight at the 1900 mark, and it's the Witch Doctor and Steve Golding who has the lead. By a length and a half on Here's Shifty. On the outside of that is Target Teasy third and quite content to sit parked for now. Into the 1-1 sit goes Del Sur. A length and a half away the favourite Cullen's Finest from Rome on the inside, and 2 lengths last is High Gun. Into the back they work. Target Teasy now given rein by Cox and is going around to take over down towards the 1600 mark. The lead time 44 seconds, so not overly quick. Leads the way over the Witch Doctor. Third the outside is going to be Del Sur. 3 back the inside is Here's Shifty. On the outside of that, Cullen's Finest enjoying a beautiful run on the 1-1. 2 lengths away Rome. On the inside and on the outside of that is High Gun. Across the top they come, 1300 out, race 2. The Mosil Motorcourt Claimers Series Heat and Target Teasy led the way. By a length and a half in advance of the Witch Doctors on the leader's back. Third the outside is Del Sur. 3 back the inside is Here's Shifty. 31.6 was the opening quarter of the last mile. 1-1 Cullen's Finest. Back on the inside is Rome. And now High Gun hooks 3 wide for its run. A lap out from home. The lead's been quite nice there for Target Teasy. Leads the way by a length and a half. The Witch Doctor still on its back. Third the outside is Del Sur. 3 wide is High Gun putting itself into the contest. Back on the inside is Here's Shifty. Then Cullen's Finest patiently driven second last. And last on the inside is Rome. Second quarter they quicken it up. 29.5, and it's Target Teasy into the back. A length and a half over High Gun. Third the inside, one of its stablemates, the Witch Doctor. Then into the 1-1 goes Here's Shifty. Is forced out Del Sur 3 wide now. Back on the inside is Rome, and Cullen's Finest held up at the tail and about 4 lengths off the leader. Across the top, 500 left to run. Target Teasy a half in advance of High Gun. Third the inside, the Witch Doctor. Here's Shifty's potent in the 1-1. Back straight quarter, 30.3. Then came Cullen's Finest, who's now starting its run out 3 wide. Further back behind those, Rome dropping off Del Sur. Into the straight they come, 2:20 left to run. Target Teasy slipped away, 2 lengths High Gun. Here's Cullen's Finest down the outside. Closer in, Here's Shifty. Further back, Rome. Target Teasy's in front though. High Gun, wider out Cullen's Finest. Target Teasy, too good tonight. Target Teasy, and the strike rate king does it again. Target Teasy defeats Cullen's Finest, High Gun. Then Here's Shifty. Next in Rome. Further back the Witch Doctor. And last in was Del Sur. Final quarter, 28.7. They've paced around 2:44. Target Teasy. Different horse tonight. Was not going to get rolled. And Graham Anderson. He's all over a winner in the Pride's Easy Feed Trainers Prize through the Winter Festival. So he's lined up 24 runners for 10 winners. And that's another one tonight. Target Teasy. Johnny Cox back on board, and he gets on well with Target Teasy, and he's rolled them. Cullen's Finest just left it too late. High Gun will be third, and Here's Shifty home in 4th spot. There's race number 2, Russell, and the second favourite gets the win here, Target Teasy. You could have picked him up for cheap a couple of times. His claiming price up to $7,000 tonight. He was too good.
Yeah, too strong. He's there, well, hardly doing anything, is he, Johnny? Just a couple. Oh, there's one half decent one, but that's all. He's put the shillelagh away very early indeed. Take a teasy, 4-year-old gelding Better's Delight out of Titan Bloss, the son of a Falomere, for Miss Easy victory in race number 2. The 5, Cullen's Finest, and the 7, High Gun. You expected them to be right in the mix, and they were. They are in behind. Tangatese. 322.10 for your winner. Cullen's Finest 180 and High Gun no third dividend. 4-5 Quinella 360. Trifecta $16.60 in the first 4. 4, 5, 7 and 2 with Here's Shifty into 4th. $44.30. 44.30. There's your first 4. Not big time, but hopefully you're able to get a bit. Race number 3 there from Forbury at 5 minutes after 7. El Razza $2.10 and Mordecai $3. The 2 favourites for the next one to go. Maiden pace 2,200 metres. Alexandra Park, race number 2 is now scheduled where race number 3 was going to be. So that at 5 minutes to 7. Race number 2, Alexandra Park. After this one from Wanganui, 3.5 minutes away from the 6th on the card. The Wanganui Security Class 2 and 3. There is one Class 2 greyhound in the field. It comes off the bench, number 9, Fanta's Fever. Comes to box number 5. It's the favourite, and Mark Rosanowski. Mac Roberts, his move up to Martin has started very nicely indeed.
Certainly has, Russell, and Corborn Flow's been part of that and stacked 5 together. Big class jump tonight. Greyhound to just the way things were placed, and Matt placed her very well to maximise her run through the grade. She won a class, sorry, she ran third in a Class 1 final last start, and now she steps into what's essentially a Class 3. But she has won a couple at Class 2 level, and the times around 17.78 and 17.80 should be competitive here. I put her in for third. Went with Matilda's Babe off box number 4. Hasn't been a bad box for her in the past. She downgrades again. She's a former Class 5, dropped out of Class 4. I thought she'd show some form back in Class 4. She didn't, so give her another chance now in Class 3. Stevie's Magic off the inside, who recent runs have been off middle boxes. Now, she hasn't won in 9 starts, box 5, 5 minor placings. This course and distance, it's been 7 starts for 5 placings from box 1. Class 2 win 5 starts back was in an 18.16, but it was on a pretty wet day. And last week led up a power token, ran past in a fairly moderate time, but I think she'll be in the hunt tonight. Corborn Flow we've talked about and can probably make the step up on times. 6 is Homebush Limbo, just on the weight variations. Another colt down a kilo, weighs in 34.2. Has won a race in Class 5 races over the middle distance. Not too sure, but we'll give them another few goes. Corborn Flow herself down 0.7, weighs in 27.5, has won at 27.4, not too bothered there. And Homebush Limbo down 0.9, weighs in 26.6, has actually won at that weight and lighter as well. Just a wee bit weak last week. Homebush Limbo dropping out to 4th behind a power token and Stevie's Magic, but it was her first run for a month, so I'm thinking maybe she can be a wee bit stronger to the line tonight. In box 7 is Kim.com, Class 2 winner here on April the 21st. Does sit on, did race last week and she got bumped and lost 3 lengths in the early rush, and she was never going to recover from that. Ran a career best 17.32 back in September off box 6 in Class 4. We know she's capable, but whether she can do that again now over the age of 4 is another thing. Fanta's Fever, just been battling away in Class 2, did run second at Manawa 2 to Dash a Rum 2 starts back, but you'd think it stepping into a Class 3 field, if she's not winning Class 2 then Class 3 is going to be a wee bit difficult, even in an open affair like this. And as I say, taking some more notes on another colt here, he just might need another. His last win back at Ascot was Class 4, and he beat Homebush Chopper, who's a very good dog, and he's won in 17.19 at Addington, another colt. Whanganui Security, Stevie's Magic leading them up in box number 1, Corborn Flow the 3, Fantas Fever green and white box 5, and out in 7 there, Kim.com. Namesake's been in the news this week. Corborn Flow a $3.10 favourite, stepping up in class. Second line going forward now with another colt, Matilda's Babe. Green rug for Homebush Limbo and Donkey Deep the outside. All clear through. Race 6, they're about to roll. Here comes the bunny set. And a racing, Stevie's Magic, a fair break. Fantas Fever showed up briefly. Corborn Flow drives to the lead. They'll be followed up wider then. Matilda's Babe and Homebush Limbo trying to get into the act. They do. Kim.com around the outside. They'll be followed by another colt back the inside. Fantas Fever's been shuffled, and so too Donkey Deeper. Corborn Flow in front. Coming hard was Homebush Limbo. Corborn Flow, Homebush Limbo tight third. Maybe another colt the inside of Kim.com. Then Matilda's Babe, Stevie's Magic. Donkey Deep was well back with Fantas Fever. Corborn Flow, no problem. Go with the flow. Jumps from a Class 1 final, which she didn't win, to a Class 3. Does the job. Fantas Fever showed up briefly. Another colt very slow. It's ended up getting a piece of this as they jam up in behind. Another colt's run the rail here. Homebush Limbo drove to second here with Kim.com out wider. Then Stevie's Magic. Here's another colt driving hard the rail. And between runners, Matilda's Babe as they swing the corner. Corborn Flow in front. Homebush Limbo just starting to eat that lead a wee bit, and then closer to the rail another colt, and Kim.com out wider for third, and there wasn't much in it. 3 from 6, no problem there, and then Jack can sort out the next 2 or the 7. as we have a look at them from the hop here. And another colt was very slow to go, and he's done a good job from then on. Corborn Flow driving to the lead. Matilda's Babe a wee bit awkward across Fantas Fever, who loses ground at that point. And Homebush Limbo comes out of the ruck and got run down last week, Homebush Limbo, and it's driven after Corborn Flow and got within a half a length here, so certainly improved from last week's run. Homebush Limbo. No official result coming our way. Corborn Flow is a blue bitch by High Earner out of Alan McState, raced by Jay Lord and Jody it is, I think. And Matt Roberts trains at Martin. Another win for him. He's doubled up tonight. Numbers are 3, 6, then the 2. Another colt runs third ahead of 7, Kim.com, followed home by numbers 4, 1, 8 and 9, 17.95, run home 10.55, and the margins were a neck by 3/4 of a length by a head. The Matt Roberts roll continues, Russell, and we look forward to the second half of the program. The first leg of place 6 is race 7. It's a very tidy field, and we're underway at 8:15. 7, in fact.
Yeah, 7. We'll have a dinner break, but not quite that long, Rozzo. All the heavy hitters out in the next one. Freeman Turnbull have, 3? Lisa Ahern, maybe 4, and McInerney 1. Big Kennel stepping up in the next one. Corborn Flow, 321.40. Homebush Limbo, 230, and another colt, $2.14.70. Concession double, 2 and 6, $9.70, and the treble, $68.90, 8, 2 and 3. Place 6 starts on the next from Wanganui, and up next we're back to Craig at Alexandra Park.
Ag Challenge bring you their industry-leading range of agricultural courses, including National Certificate in Dairy Farming Level 3. Gain the skills you need to competently handle all aspects of a milking shed with hands-on practical training. For more info and a full list of our courses, go to agchallenge.co.nz.
The world's biggest space. Pick the outcomes of the games of the 2014 Football World Cup for free, and you could be a multi-millionaire. Enter for free now at tabchallenge.co.nz for your chance to score $5 million.
When New Zealand's leading studs and stables want scientifically formulated nutrition for their horses, they use Pala Mountain's range of equine supplements. Free phone 0800 848 276. Pala Mountains, providing premium equine nutrition.
Sovereignty down the outside, Commander Galleon Bone, tip our Dainty Lady in behind, 120 left to go. And here's a real bright star in New Zealand Square, gating his name, Prime Power, and he's going to come away for another effortless victory. Prime Power.
Of course, Prime Power going around at Cambridge tomorrow afternoon. Race 7 at 3:23 for Todd Mitchell. Of course, won the jewels at Ashburton last year. Can tell you through from the bookmakers, $5,000 in race number 2. We are back one race after the fall in the first. Unfortunately, we have lost Beaming J. Our condolences go out to the Hanua syndicate that raced the son of Grin from ear to ear. Race 2, numbers the number 1, It's All On. This one trained by Todd Mitchell. Very, very unlucky at Cambridge last start. A little bit of a concern about going right-handed for the first time, but really nice run, as I say. Didn't get a lot of room in the run home. If he can hold up to trail at least, I think he's an each-way chance to run in my top 4, and she's a nice each-way chance at big money, $14 for Dave McGowan. Andrew Vent takes the drive, Filly by Mac 3. Good third at Auckland, 2 starts to go behind Cully's Delight. So I thought Triple Bouquet the best value in the race. Aaron's numbers 4, 9, 5 and 2 in race number 2. He's put Lynn's Delight on top. Likely leader here and the one to catch. 9, Vengeance. Got through that maiden win 3 starts ago. Racing well since then. A good second at the park behind Live Life Better last start. 5, Simply Stunning. And 2 Triple Bouquets found a spot in the top 4 as well. Head-to-head on option 5-2-2 here. Lynn's Delight versus Simply Stunning. Well, Lynn's Delight's your likely leader. Simply Stunning drawn outside it. So 145 versus 250. Option 5-2-2. Lynn's Delight versus Simply Stunning. Aaron White, 2 minutes out from race number 2. The New Zealand Koi Farm Fillies and Mares Mobile Pace. Over the 2,200 metres, you're going for 4, Lynn's Delight.
Yeah, I think she's got the right draw to be a major player here. The last couple of placings, in fact, her last 3 runs on the back of that slick victory down at Cambridge have all been good, and the front row draw certainly does. Live Life better to a short margin. Stephen argue there's no reason why she couldn't go one better tonight. Simply Stunning. I think that trip away to Manawatu would have done her the world of good. The Art Major filly, Todd McFarlane, and 2 Triple Bouquet with a good draw to work with here. Andrew Vent. 4, 9, 5 and 2 here for me, Craig, and the New Zealand Onion Company Fillies and Mares Mobile Pace.
Thanks, Aaron. Yes, not a great start of the night. Only 4 runners went round in race number 1 tonight. We had 4 late scratchings, Change Gear, I'm a Jolly Wally, Beaming J, and Ace Man after that fall at the winning post after 200 metres. Eventually taken out by Hugh Hefner, trained by Graham Rogerson. He got a little bit of recompense after Change Gear went down in the first. Favourite Lynn's Delight into 210 now. In front of 1, It's All On at 680, and 5, Simply Stunning. Todd McFarlane takes the drive. He's got 2 in the. He's got, of course, this filly by Art Major, Simply Stunning. She was a good second last start behind Stormy Breeze. Of course, that was at Manawatu. They raced her 2 days there. She ran 3rd the first day behind She's the Real Deal. She's got gate speed as well, but I think Lynn's Delight may have a little bit more. So it'll be interesting to see what happens early, where Maurice McHenry looks to stay in front or hand to Todd McFarlane. If he decides to stay in front with Lynn's Delight, she's a very good front runner, so is the one to beat. Other chances in the race, well, Betty Boot Brogden, this one trained by owned by the Auckland Trotting Club 2013 syndicate, trained by Stephen Reid, Simon McMullen. Simon takes the drive. She's been out of form for quite some time, but she is dropping back in grade here in what she's been racing. Chili's Justice Strutter and Cully's Delight. This is not an overly strong field. Drawn out at barrier number 7. She's going to need a little bit of luck in the middle of the second row. Horse 9, Vengeance. So nothing coming through. That's why Triple Bouquet from barrier number 2 is going to get a lovely run. And behind the mobile for race number 2, over the 2,200 metres, your favourite will start in the Michelle.
And the runners in behind the yellow bar arm for the second on the program tonight. Of course, back 1 race for the remainder of the program here after the nasty fall in race number 1. A new start time for the last is 10:40, 20 minutes to 11 o'clock. So the paces work into the home straight under the ribbon of light at Alexandra Park. New Zealand Onion Company, Fillies and Mares, second on Powell Transport. In Triple Bouquet, Vengeance gets a nice run through from the second line, and they're followed by Wine Collector. Further back in the field there now as they turn out of the home straight was Simply Stunning, followed by Smiling Tact. Back in the field, Betty Boot Brogden and Royal Kisses. They've settled an Indian File, 1,800 left to go. Lynn's Delight and the Magic Man, Maurice McHenry into the back, 1.5 lengths. It's All On. The Wizard Todd Mitchell has the trail, and 3 back on the inside was Triple Bouquet. On its back is Vengeance, followed up by Wine Collector, then Simply Stunning. Betty Boot Brogden starts to inch forward on the outside. That's flushed out. Simply Stunning to the park spot, so she now 1-1. Betty Boot Brogden, Smiling Tack to her inside, and Royal Kiss the last. 45 and 4 was the comfortable lead time for Lynn's Delight. She's got the ears pricked as she sweeps across the showgrounds turn, 1.5 lengths. Over It's All On and Triple Bow against the marker line. Up on the outside, Royal Kiss has the back of Betty Boot Brogden. Looks to come 3 wide though now. And Smiling Tact is back of the tail. The opening quarter, 34.2. New Zealand Company, New Zealand Onion Company, Fillies and Mares Mobile Pace. And Lynn's Delight at the bell. Leads by a length, Royal Kiss. We know the leader's got a powerful sprint as she produced at Cambridge 4 starts ago, and she's got a very soft quarter here. It's All On's in the trail. Simply Stunning now has 1-1 cover. Triple Bouquet 3 back on the inside, then Betty Boot Brogden around Vengeance, and the last pair, Smiling Tact and Wine Collector, 31 and 9 the second quarter. Lynn's Delight into the back, leads a length to its wheel as Royal Kiss. It's All On's had the soft trip in behind the leader. They're followed by Simply Stunning, then came Triple Bouquet, Betty Boot Brogden, Vengeance all dressed up, nowhere to go, 4 back on the inside, then Smiling Tact and Wine Collector, 500 left to go. Lynn's Delight off the back, leads by a length, Royal Kiss. It's All On. Up on the outside is Simply Stunning. Here's Betty 3 the quarter down the back. Lynn's Delight. She's been asked to go into full stride now. Leads by a length. Simply Stunning. It's All On. The passing lane coming strongly. Vengeance in behind. Betty Boop Brogden. It's All On. Cold Shot passing lane. The Wizard Todd Mitchell. It's All On. Could well be tomorrow too. Jules Day in those colours too. With Prime Power. Second over Simply Stunning. They were followed by Lynn's Delight, Vengeance, Betty Boop Brogden there for third. Further back in the field was Triple Bouquet, then Wine Collector. Now they were followed by Smiling Tact, and back of the tail was Royal Kiss. Brian and Marilyn Macy, of course, with one of the stars of the show tomorrow in Prime Power on. Gets the nice run throughout on the back of Lynn's Delight. Passing lane and home. Simply Stunning there for second. Third, Lynn's Delight will just hold on there from Betty Boop Brogden. And another one just hemmed up between those being Vengeance. New Zealand Onion Company, Fillies and Mares, 250.4. So not a very slick time throughout, but a win's a win. A nice win too for It's All On.
Official placings, race 2, the New Zealand Onion Company, Fillies and Mares, mobile pace. 1, a mile rate of 24.6, last 858.7 and the 428.3. The margins 1.5 lengths, 1 1/4 lengths ahead. 154.792, race 2, New Zealand Onion Company, Fillies and Mares, mobile pace.
It's All On. Back at the head of the field, the Art Major Bay 3-year-old filly out of rear class, raced by Brian and Marilyn Macy. Todd Mitchell, the trainer at Tofoti, and the Wizard Todd Mitchell back at the head of the field to be greeted by Mike Blake and also Woodsy Barner for the New Zealand Onion Company, along with Frank for the Macy Mitchell team, and the favourite for the 4-year-old Ruby looking to go back-to-back Jules Day. Number 5, Simply Stunning second to make it an Art Major Quinella. This one out of Sarbella Bay, 3-year-old filly raced by Mrs. JP Champion along with A.H. Nicholson. The Drove My Chevy 2012 Syndicate. Todd McFarlane, Craig Sharp trained at Patamahoe. Todd McFarlane. And 4, Lynn's Delight, and for third, the Better's Delight. It's a nice brown 4-year-old mare raced by AW and Mrs. LJ Messenger. Michelle Wallace, Bernie Hackett trained at Waiuku. Morris McKendry. It's All On, $5.70, $1.80, $5.70, $1.80. 5, Simply Stunning, $1.70, $1.70, and 4, Lynn's Delight, $1.20, $1.20. Quinella, $12.80, $12.80. Trifecta, $70, $70. First 4, $333.90, $333.90. 5 and 1 in the double, $44.50, $44 and $50. 5 and 5.
the 3 on the card, and upcoming is the Quaddie on races 4, 5, 6 and 7, and just having a look through that. Smiling Armada, my top selection in race number 4. Torpedo, I think there could be a race in 2 there. Race number 5, the Trot, we have very persuasive backing up after breaking maidens on Sunday. Maury, Astropy was a run short last week, and the roughie in that is Sun Crusher, if he does things right tonight. Race 6, Arden Castle, if you're going to go short off the inside, but watch out for Jackson Jones and also Irish Kath. And in the last, well, I think just a race in 2. Remiss and Curra's Princess for me, as we're not too far away from a start in the 3rd.
Yeah, Quaddie starting on race number 4, 7:35 for the first leg, 7:35 for the first leg of the Quaddie at Forbury Park. And what about Revive in the first leg on debut? Filly by Live or Die for Bruce Negus and Nathan Williamson. Well, there's got a couple of handy trials. It was second behind Shire, who won on debut, and it was second behind Rostreva Victory in a recent trial. So we'll see how Rostreva Victory goes here to give us maybe a little bit of a guide through Revive in the first leg of the Quaddie. That's to come though. Let's get back to the 3rd on the card, 2,200 metres. So we're getting around to the start point. Here's Jason.
Thank you, Russell. Not too far away here. About 80 metres off starting point. Amelia Pond down in 1. Roxy Rocks alongside. Almost there. There's the green light. Keep it clean, limited, mobile underway, and down on the inside. Amelia Pond is going forward. El Razor out wide, and Domino Denario showing plenty of speed to head them all off here. Domino Denario crosses El Razor. 2.5 away, 3rd, Amelia Pond, followed out then by Pond de Bear. Roxy Rocks on the inside, settles down 5th. They were followed through by Rostreva Victory. A length and a half away, Leo. 2 lengths, Mordecai, and Blazing Bracelet off the unruly is back to last as they head up into the back. 1,700 left to run. And El Razor went out and around Domino Denario and takes it up now, the favourite. The daughter of Gotta Go Collect shows the way by a length and a half on Domino Denario. 3 back the inside, Amelia Pond at the 1,600. The lead time was just fair again, 44.7. They were followed back a length and a half away then as Roxy Rocks on the inside of Pond de Bear. 2 lengths away, Rostreva Victory. A length and a half away, Leo. 2 lengths, Mordecai, and Blazing Bracelet still sees them all. They work across the top now with about 1,350 metres left to run. And the pacemaker remains El Razor. A length and a half in advance of Domino Denario. Valita's back. Now Amelia Pond left the pegs to go up and face the breeze. That gives a 1-1 sit now to Roxy Rocks. Back on the inside, Pond de Bear has found the markers for the first time in the race. The opening quarter was only 34. Behind Pond de Bear's Leo. Then now 3 wide, Mordecai coming forward. Second last is Rostreva Victory, but in the running line. And Blazing Bracelet still last. On the bend out of the straight, 900 metres to travel. El Razor still in control. By a length and a half on Domino Denario. Mordecai is round to 3rd in the breeze now. That gives Amelia Pond 1-1 at the 800 metre mark. Second quarter was at 29. Back on the inside is Pond de Bear, locked away, 3 back the pegs. On the outside is Roxy Rocks of Leo. 2 lengths away, Rostreva Victory, second last, and still Blazing Bracelet at the tail, and about 12 lengths off the leader. Down the far side, 5:50 to run. El Razor, Matthew Williamson took a look around and he's pretty confident, I'd say. A length and a half, Domino Denario. Mordecai 3rd, then Pond de Bear. Amelia Pond over on the outside of that as Pond de Bear gives it up. Getting around that is Leo. Further back in the field then is Roxy Rocks. Rostreva Victory, Blazing Bracelet. Back straight quarter, 29 and 6 on the turn. El Razor's 2 lengths clear. Domino Denario back to the passing lane. Then Mordecai. Further back Amelia Pond, but El Razor's 2.5. 3.5, 4 lengths in front now, El Razor. It starts to pull right away. Down to the post, El Razor, the short price favourite, bolts in. About 4 lengths over Mordecai. Very close 3rd. Leo got through and made it very interesting with Domino Denario. May have held it though. Next in Amelia Pond. Wider out Blazing Bracelet getting home again from Rostreva Victory. Roxy Rocks. Last in Pond de Bear, 27.9 was the last quarter. They paced around 2:45. El Razor got to the top at the 1,700 mark and it was all over from there. 3-year-old filly by Gotta Go Collect out of Alzara for the Central Courage Syndicate, Jeff and Jude Knight. They get the win. Matthew Williamson on board, and it was easy. Bolts in here, close to 5 lengths in the run to the post. Mordecai's been good to second. Third's tight. Holding that, though, will be Domino Denario just in front of Leo, who was getting home along the inside. So there's the third on the night, and El Razor gets it. Well done to the Central Courage Syndicate. They will be delighted. And they race a few claimers, the Central Courage Syndicate, but El Razor is certainly a filly going places, and it looked the goods before it went to the races, and it surprised me that it's taken 4 starts to break maidens, but it's run into a couple of smart types, and once it got to the front tonight, it was too good for them. El Razor defeating Mordecai, who'll pick one up at short notice, and third in will be Domino Denario, when with that gate speed it's going to pick one up at short notice too, as we see plenty of Essential Courage Syndicate out there. Judge Ken Dempster is about to wrap it all up before we head back to Russell in the studio. We're back for race number 4, the first of a Quaddie at 7:35.
Then 87619. The call again, 487619. The margins 4.5 lengths, 3/4 of length, a nose. The winner's time 2:45.32, a mile rate of 2 minutes, 0.9. The last 800, 57.5, the 400, 27.5. To check in, 487619.
And a strong performance, and the Central Courage Syndicate happy with their filly by Gotta Go Collect. A multitasking here, cameraman Justine, and she is getting us the pictures and giving the congratulations. Excellent stuff. Nice up close and personal shots there at Forbury tonight. Much appreciated here and around the country. Here's the next one then, race number 7. Let's get to Wanganui for the 7th on the program. This one to kick off place 6, a new double and a new treble starting. So all the best if you're having a go at something along those lines. It's the Keenan Concrete. It's class 4 and 5 over 520 metres, and there are a C4 in the race, the 1, the 6 and the 2 off the bench, the 9 and the 10. Ritzadani is the favourite to Rosso as we come to you, and it is a true C4 and 5 with 4 C4 in it, so I suppose better start with the open classes, including Ritzadani.
Yes, indeed, Russell, and I've got Ritzadani on top. Of those Class 4s, 3 of them have been to Class 5, and Jonesy's Fortune, the only other one that's on the way up, if you like. Ritzadani, now he's drawn close enough to the rail to bounce back to winning form. 3 starts back off box 1, beat Blitzing Mayhem in a 29.81 in a heat of the Futurity. Blitzing Mayhem came out and won that final, and we see him again later. Race 10, our feature, the Advanced Racing Series final, which is a straight final tonight for the New Zealand bred dogs. Ritzadani in the final off box number 8 was actually a pretty good 4th in behind Blitzing Mayhem. Last week, box number 6. And he got shuffled back to last. He finished very well. He finished 5th and wasn't too far behind them either, and a fairly tight finish. So Ritzadani box 3 today. Not a great deal of pace inside him. Not a great deal of pace in the race full stop here. You'd expect Punch on Jamie to be forward. So I'd expect Ritzadani to be thereabouts, and then wherever he settles, if he settles close enough, he'll do the business. He has actually come not so long ago, I think it was 5 starts back, where he came from second last and ran past Mammy Brown and won. So Ritzadani on top, and he has been the shortener, $2.20 earlier in the day with the bookies, now $1.90. 7, Mammy Brown, not quite at the peak of her powers, but nonetheless, last week she got squeezed and jammed and clipped, and that was Monday, in a fiercely contested race at Manawa 2, so happy to look past that. Here prior, last week, 4th, and behind Speedy Kazza and Punch on Jamie was 2nd there. There was a length and a quarter back to Mammy Brown, who was a nose off Way Too Crude, who got 3rd just ahead of her. She won on a 30.09 here early in May off box 6. That was to bounce back to Class 5, and she's been runner-up a couple of times in Class 5 this time around. She's the sort of dog in a race where there's not a heap of early pace. She could cross and be very close to the pace or outside the leader, and that makes her dangerous. 5-dog Punch on Jamie. Well, it was a super run last week, it really was, and she just kept giving her 2 wins on the track down in the grades, Class 1s, but last week. There she was in the Class 5 company and went head-to-head with the Speedy Kaz of the Kennel mate, who came out a nose on top, and reproduction of that race. Punch on Jamie's right in the thick of it again. Indiana Esme off box number 2 was a Group 1 place getter. 2 starts back over the 755 metres here. It's only run since over the 650 metres. Drops back to 520. Did win over this trip 6 starts back. Would be slow early, you would imagine. Hopefully he'll save a bit of ground at the first bend. Could be in the thick of it. The 10 Wallace Lad. He's only just dropped out of Class 5 and he's been having to race in Class 4s and 5s. He ran a 1.5 length second to Night Pearl in the slowest of the futurity heats, but it was still a good competitive heat nonetheless. He won a Class 4 race April the 21st in his career best of 30 and 28. Algeta off the ballot ran a good race here last week behind Stay Young in the fastest time of the night. Good competitive race. Kenan Concrete, Class 4s and 5s, 520 metres to get a double treble and place 6 underway. Jonesy's Fortune the inside, followed up by the favourite Ritzadani in 3. Gold Rug for Punch on Jamie, out in box 7, Mammy Brown. Second line to go forward in the black and white, Indiana Izmir. Green and white rug, Algeta, box 4. Green rug there for Phone Tap, the brother of Jonesy's Fortune. And the outside, Wallace Lad, the red, the white, the blue. Watch Danny off the hop, round comes the bunny, just about set to break. They're now racing, Ritzadani, he's fairly slow to go, and Algeta bounds to the lead here. Coming after it there would have been Punch on Jamie and Wallace Lad around the outside. Ritzadani pushes through the inside to trail the leader. Back and behind them to Jonesy's Fortune. Phone Tap around that, Indiana Izmir gets back and Mammy Brown is last. Down the back they go and Ritzadani finds the lead, comes underneath there. Algeta running on over on the outside then to Wallace Lad. Further back in the race then we've got Punch on Jamie. Further back to Indiana Izmir starting to run on. Mammy Brown behind them with Jonesy's Fortune and Phone Tap. Ritzadani, he's back on top. He scores from Algeta. Just third, Punch on Jamie. Close up was Wallace Lad and Indiana Izmir diving the inside. Further back to Mammy Brown. And the brothers at the tail, Jonesy's Fortune and Phone Tap. Danny Boy back in business. Ritzadani. He wasn't quick out, but he got into a lovely position around the first bend. And he just railed underneath Algeta in the back straight. The reserves have gone big races. Algeta, Wallace Lad. Punch on Jamie, punching away the inside. And Indiana Izmir getting into his work late in the piece, but he looked the winner a fair way from home. Ritzadani, Algeta, just second. Punch on Jamie's done enough to hold third, and then Wallace Lad will be fourth ahead of Indiana Izmir, warming up at the business end. So slow to go, the 3, but he hops into a nice spot here. He's able to accelerate past the 1, the 2, and he hops across into a nice spot in behind Algeta with Punch on Jamie the outside. Mammy Brown's missed the kick tonight and just not got into it at all. As they wheel around the bend, Wallace Lad was the other one that showed some early speed. Here comes the official result. Numbers are 3, 9, 5 and 10, followed home by 2, 7, 1 and 6. Winning time 30.16, run home 11.08. 1 3/4 lengths by 1 1/4 lengths by a head. Second win tonight for Lisa Ahern, raced by Matthew Gatt, I think it is. Ritzadani, win 10, start 24 in race number 7. Race 8 tonight, we see the Class 4 sprinters over 305 metres with 6 and 9 coming out and 10 run Kayla run into box 6 and we're underway. Russell at 7:45.
Perfect, Rozzo. Look forward to it, and we'll have the result of the 7th right now. It's confirmed Ritzadani at $2.0150 with the tote closed. Algeta at $3.10 and Punch on Jamie $2. Quinella 16, Trifecta $142.90. And the first 4 $721.60, $721.60, 395 and 10. What about Forbury? Just heading back to Dunedin for the result for their third. Razza number 4 at $2.110. Mordecai was second, but a fair way off at $1.30. And a Domino Denario $2.50. The Quinella $2.50. The Trifecta 21 in the first 4 $103.10. The double $5.40 in the concession $3.40. A treble wrapped on the third race, and it's returned $29.30. 5, 4 and 4. And just news from the sports bookies desk. Their Friday special is option 2. It's double the odds on any Crusaders player to score the first try. So as an example, Nadolo at $15 to score the first try. So double the odds for any Crusaders player to score the first try. Option 20, So Israel Dag, $22 to score the first try. Nadola, $15. Kieran Reid, $28. That is up until start time of 7:35. Some conditions, 1 bet per customer per player, a $50 maximum bet. All the information and conditions at tab.co.nz. But yes, if you've been looking forward to that game and looking at a first try scorer, option 2, double the odds what you normally get from now until start time. Exciting. Craig, coming to you then for race number 3, and well, who's going to be favourite here? It's tough to tell, I suppose.
Yeah, we've had 4 individual favourites in about the last 8 minutes, Russell. Runners Lost in Bangkok won after a very, very good placing last start at Alexandra Park behind C-Mac. That was its first run for around about 4 months. You'd think it'll benefit a lot with that effort. Comes up with barrier number 1. I actually settled on Hot Mac here. I thought he's been racing really well for Jeff Small. Zach Butcher takes the drive. Earlier in the night, I caught up with Zach. Of course, he's got a couple of very good drives in the Jewels tomorrow. The likes of Ideal Bell and, of course, Sky Major. Earlier in the night, I caught up with Zach, and this is what he had to say about his runner, Hot Mac. Thanks for your time tonight, Zach. Your first of your drives is Hot Mac in the third. Good run last week. Got a nice barrier drawn. He's racing really, really well for Jeff.
Yeah, no, I think he's probably one of my better drives of the night. Drove him 2 starts back and sort of ended up back in the field and had to come wide around them at Cambridge. And I got beaten by one of Tony Hurler, his 2-year-old's RD. And I was really happy with the way he went that night. And I think tonight with the right run, he'd be right there.
Yeah, Zach's thoughts on all of his drives tonight, and also after race 9 we get his thoughts on Ideal Bell and Sky Major's chance leading into the Jewels tomorrow. Hot Mac, Dragon Lady, Better Romance and Golden Delight. Thought Hot Mac was the best of his 4 chances, but he gave Better Romance a very good push later in the program. We'll play that interview prior to race number 8, but if you're taking a Quaddie and you'll pick 6 tonight, make sure you have race 8, horse 1, Better Romance in all combinations. Good from a stand and racing really well. Thought probably dropping back in class slightly, albeit taking on quite a nice field. In race number 3, I put in number 2, Hot Mac on top in front of the former Southerner, 7 on ice. She's not a bad mare. Blair Orange takes the drive tonight for Tony Hurler. He first start in the north, never easy right-handed. But she is a nice mare, and she was a last start winner at Gore, beating Still Shaken in 2:46 round Gore, which is a nice time. And I think this one now with the Butterworth Racing Syndicate, new purchase for the team, certainly one you've got to consider as well. I thought one Lost in Bangkok, as I mentioned earlier, comes up with a nice draw. He's a nice type, the son of Some Beach Somewhere for Gareth Dixon. And I put a number 4, Burning Cash. This one trained by Tony. He's got 2 in the race. Tony takes the drive on the son of Art Major for Brecken Racing Syndicate. I marked them at 2, 7, 1 and 4. Aaron's numbers 1, 2 and 7 in race number 3 tonight. We'll pop upstairs a little over 2 minutes out to race number 3 tonight. Aaron, you're settling on Lost in Bangkok from the inside alley. Yeah, I liked him last week a bit, Craig. Fresh up, and he didn't disappoint with a nice run. He comes up with barrier 1. Of course, he did win the Sales Series consolation from this draw. There was only him and Jet Black Shadow in the race, but it was a good contest, and I think from barrier 1 he's drawn to dominate here, so he's on top. Number 1, Lost in Bangkok. I made him my best of the night. Andrew Vent for Gareth Dixon. Over the 2 hot marks, Zach Butcher racing very well. The 7 on ice up now with the Tony Hurley barn, the grin from ear to ear mare. And number 4, Burning Cash here, certainly in the mix, running for the money bags tonight. Tony Hurley, 1, 2, 7 and 4. Lost in Bangkok. I think he's a great bet tonight. Thanks, Sharon. Well, I've got you there. The Australian caller, Jimmy Jakes, race 4. Will he be calling that? Yes, he will be, Craig. Him and the team across from Australia. So South Australian caller Jimmy Jakes will be with us, hopefully for 2 races. We'll get him to do races 4 and 5. Why not? He's a guest across here, and no Australian influence now at the Jewels, so might as well get a bit of commentary the night before. And Jimmy Jakes, of course, famous for that great call on Pride of Petite. Still one of my favourite races, Craig. Pride of Petite running down the likes of Wagon Apollo and Night Pistol. Boy, that was a trotting field for that Inter-Dominion Grand Final. Absolutely. Of course, he's dual-gated. He calls the dogs as well, famous for his saying just before they start, no more bets, no more bets. And yes, Jimmy Jakes, looking forward to hearing him call race 4 and 5 at the park tonight. Can tell you in the treble tonight, first leg taken out by Hugh Hefner, race 1. Second leg, It's All On. 5 and 1 the first 2 legs of the treble. Favourite away in the treble is Lost in Bangkok at $124. On Ice, $128. Hot Mac, $154, and Burning Cash, $163. They're your will pays with runners 1 and 5 in the 2 legs of the treble. Other chances in race 3, I thought Sakura's been racing well. Good second, 2 starts ago at Manawatu for Logan Hollis. Logan Hollis has got to Underwood Road in later in the program. Upset winner at Manawatu at around about 40-1 last start. Didn't go so well the second day, didn't back up, I don't think, behind Stormy Breeze. But Sakura, barrier 3, he's a chance of running in your top 4 for your first 4s. And if you're looking for a bolter, Clarius, I know it's at $27 for Wayne Fawcett. Talked to Wayne earlier in the program. Just said the horse taken a little bit more racing, and he's had 4 runs back now. He's had horrible draws in his last 3 starts, but he is racing well.
At $3.40 the favourite. On Ice at $3.80. Now, No Apache Me's galloped in the score up on the second line here. Thanks, Craig. And No Apache Me's just blowing the middle part of the score up. Back into its hopples now and chasing this field down. It will connect onto the back of Lost in Bangkok prior to dispatch as they work into the lane. 2,200 metres the journey. And the Primal Produce Mobile Pace Field with the green light flashing are underway, and Burning Cash will burn off the arm to take the early lead over Lost in Bangkok. No Apache Me the run through to be 3 back on the inside with On Ice coming forward. Seven Aceivas punching through to try and find a prominent spot to get on the back of On Ice here. They're followed by Hot Mark, then Sakura, and Clarius is back at the tail end of the field. 1,800 metres left to go. Burning Cash about to hand up to its stablemate, and On Ice now runs on to the lead for the postman. Blair Orange works into the back a length and a half over Burning Cash. That leaves Seven Aceva now out parked, and 3 back on the inside, Lost in Bangkok. Hot Mark will take up the 1-1 with No Apache Me back on the inside on the back of Lost in Bangkok. 4 back against the markers. To its outside is Sakura. And back last is Clarius. Lead time in 45.3. So work off the back, 1,500 metres left to go. And On Ice having her first northern outing tonight, leads by a length. Seven Aceivas sitting to her wheel. In the trail, Burning Cash is right up on the nickel here too for the Iceman, Tony Hurley. In the 1-1 is Hot Mark and Zach Butcher, and 3 back on the inside, Lost in Bangkok. Sakura's about to make a run now, 3 wide. Comes into the race strongly. Then No Apache Me. And Clarius is back at the tail with the first quarter, 34 seconds. On Ice, Sakura's coming forward, 3 wide now to sit outside the speed for Logan Hollis at the Judge Bell, and 1 to go. Burning Cash has that lovely trail on the back of its stablemate as they work the stables corner. Seven Aceva now has 1-1 cover. Lost in Bangkok requires luck from 3 back on the inside of Hot Mark. No Apache Me and Clarius the last pair, 850 metres left to go. On Ice to take them into the back. The second quarter in 30.1, leads by a neck. Up on the outside, Sakura, Burning Cash in the trail. Seven Aceivas in the 1-1, Shane Butcher. Back on the inside, Lost in Bangkok for Andrew Vent. To its outside was Hot Mark. On its back is Clarius. And No Apache Me back last on the inside. 550 left to go. On Ice to the end of the back, straight over Sakura. Burning Cash just waiting for that passing lane run. Seven Aceva the 1-1, then Lost in Bangkok. To its outside is Hot Mark. Clarius still back, second last. And No Apache Me, 29-7 the quarter down the back. On Ice to bring them for home over Sakura. Seven Aceivas out of the 1-1. Burning Cash about to get the passing lane. Lost in Bangkok. Which way will he come? He's trying to run through the centre. Hot Mark down the outside. It's On Ice in front. Sakura. Hot Mark, Burning Cash, Lost in Bangkok. On Ice. Hot Mark is flashing it at Burning Cash on the inside. On Ice. Hot Mark. 1 last dive missed. The win goes to On Ice from Hot Mark and Burning Cash third. They were followed by Lost in Bangkok, Seven Aceva, Sakura, Clarius, and No Apache Me. 247 and 4, 28 and 2. The final quarter makes a winning northern debut. The postman delivers Blair Orange. Grin from ear to ear mere for the Butterworth Racing Syndicates. They have a wonderful group of horses going around in the Jewels tomorrow. And it's the win here tonight with On Ice. Hot Mark has flashed home down the outside. Another placing for it. Burning Cash had every chance in the trail. It will run third, and Lost in Bangkok to be the 4th over in the Primal Produce Mobile Pace, the 3rd on the program tonight.
Official placings, race 3, the Primal Produce Mobile Pace. First 4 placings are confirmed in a very close photo for 5th, 6th and 7th. So 7, 2, 4 and 1 all confirmed. And then in close photos, 3, 5, 8. 7, 2, 4, 1 confirmed. Horse 7 on ice paced the 2200 metres in 247.49. It's a mile rate of 22.5. Last 857.9 and the 428.2. Margins ahead, a half neck, 2 1/4 lengths. 7, 2, 4 and 1 confirmed. Race 3, the Primal Produce Mobile Pace. Close photo for 5th, 6th and 7th.
On ice comes back at the head of the field, number 7, Grin from Ear to Ear Bay, 4-year-old mare. Out of Chiavari, raced by Butterworth Racing Syndicate. Tony Hurley, the new trainer at Papakura, and Blair Orange to come back at the head of the field to be greeted by John Long, Michael Kimber, John Carroll, Emmett Farrell, and Franklin Trotting Club's Rodney Stewart there after the third on the program. Nice win, beating 2 Hot Mark, the Mark 3 Bay 3-year-old colt out of Warm Soak, raced by LT Henwood. Jeff Small trained at Patamahoe, Zach Butcher. 4 Burning Cash, Art Major Bay 3-year-old gelding out of OK Rock for 3rd. Brecken Racing Syndicate, the ownership, Tony Hurley, the trainer and driver.
Confirmed result now, race 3, 7, 2, 4, 1, 3, 5 and 8.
Dividends now, number 7 on ice at $3.80, $1.70, $3.81.70. 2 Hot Mark, $1.20, $1.20 and 4 Burning Cash at $1.70, $1.70. Quinella, $8.20, $8.20. Trifecta, $52.70, $52.70. First 4, $95.70, $95.70. The opening TAB treble, 5, 1 and 7, $128. 128. The sub in the third leg of the treble being the 4th place, number 9, C Mac. Race 4 on the program tonight. The Novoda Equipment Handicap Trot over the 2200 metres. Unfortunately, no Australian participation will be happening tomorrow outside of ownership at the Jewels tomorrow, but it's a warm welcome to Alexandra Park under the ribbon of light to South Australian commentator Jim Jakes, and Jim will take you through the next couple of races here at the park, races 4 and 5.
Dermots, and out of their breed as well. Ran second at the trials to Shire when qualifying, just beat the nose, and Shire came out and won last Thursday night, and then subsequently second to Ross Trevor Victory. Ross Trevor Victory didn't really get too close to them in the previous race, so that trial form has a question mark over it, and also Standing Start, I guess, has a question mark over that too, because it's unsighted at the trials behind the tapes. So I left that out of my 4 And the other one consideration, I guess, is number 1, Rory Mack, off the inside, though. It can be an issue, but did qualify from a stand here at Fulbury Park, and looks a nice type by Mac 3 out of Spirit of Niatros, and Martin Denton's done okay with that breed. And first up tonight, the locals have got a little bit on that runner. So 5, 8, 4 and 6 for me. They're on start time up at the 2,200 metre start. For the Hope and Sons Funeral Services pace. And just waiting for Rory Mack to be straightened up down on the inside. They walk in. Ready to go. There goes the tape. They're away and pacing. Rory Mack just swung sideways at the look of a tape early. Is underway nonetheless. Righteous Honour galloped away and is out the back door. First out, though, was the Smiling Armada. Speechless made a great beginning and is going forward fast on the outside, looking for the lead. Coming across with it is the race favourite Torpedo. Then came back on the inside is Briley Star. In fact, it's galloping Briley Star, so getting around that just a marvel. 2.5 away Revive. Further back in the field then is Millwood Charity earlier. Then came Righteous Honour, who's a long way back, and right at the back of the field is Rory Mack. So into the back, 1,700 metres out from home. And in front is Speechless by a length and a half. Smiling Armada gets the gun run in the trail really, although here comes Torpedo continuing on its run on the outside. 48.3 the lead time, and I don't think the lead's there for the favourite. Hopping into the 1-1 sit is Just a Marvel. From back on the inside, Revive. Then came the next as they work off the back, and down the side is Millwood Charity. Millwood Charity was followed on the inside then by Briley Star, and 3 lengths away as they work their way down the side is Righteous Honour. And beaten off is Rory Mack. It's very green at the tail, about 30 lengths away. Into the straight they come. About 1250 metres left to run, and in control is Speechless, the Canterbury visitor. Runs the opening quarter of the last mile in 32.2. Smiling Armada every chance, the leader's back. On the outside is Torpedo in the breeze. Back on the inside of that then is Revived, 3 deep the markers. On the outside of that, Just a Marvel in the 1-1. 3 back and 1 off is a Millwood Charity. 2 lengths away on the inside is Briley Star. Then came second last is Righteous Honour, and 25 away Rory Mack. 8.50 out. Speechless still travelling okay. The Son of Gotta Go Collect runs the second quarter in 29.3. Being hassled on the outside by Torpedo. On the inside in the trail, Smiling Armada. Just a Marvel is in the 1-1 sit. 3 back the markers Revive. On the outside of that is Millwood Charity. Locked away is Briley Star, and the last of a horse was with any chance is Righteous Honour on the outside. They pack up, galloping there. Righteous Honour, I think, contacted the sulky of Millwood Charity, so it's out of it. Across the top, 450 out. Speechless, Torpedo only a neck away. Back straight quarter, 30 seconds. On the inside, Smiling Armada. Then Just a Marvel's travelling okay, the 1-1. 3 lengths away, Revive. Further back, Millwood Charity. Onto the turn they come, 250 to go. Lining them up is Speechless. Smiling Armada is trying to come out between the leader and Torpedo. Gets out now. Wider out, Just a Marvel. Speechless, but Smiling Armada rolls to the front and starts to pull clear. Smiling Armada, 2 starts, 1 win in a second, wins nicely. Smiling Armada beats close. Very close between Speechless and Torpedo, not much in it. Then Just a Marvel fourth, followed across Millwood Charity. Further back, Briley Star. The next over then would have been Righteous Honour. Further back in the field then was going to be Revive. And last in Rory Mack, after doing plenty wrong, 29.5 was the last quarter. 249.6 unofficially. And yeah, great money. At least a few must have got on late, 340. Interesting drive by Shane Walkinshaw, not waiting for the passing lane. He could have driven a bus up there. And he's come out and forced out Torpedo and has pulled away in the final stages to win. Second's interesting. Did Torpedo pick itself up off the canvas to grab second? I think it did. In front of Speechless on the inside and Just a Marvel fourth. I guess hold all tickets. The winner did come out and touch Torpedo, but just whether they were going to beat Smiling Armada, I'm not sure. Not sure why he came out. Maybe he was hanging outwards, and Shane Walkinshaw decided to let him roll out. But he's been a good winner nonetheless. Smiling Armada, 3-year-old gelding by Grinfamere to Wear out of Diamond Fleet. Hamish Hunter, part owner, along with Mrs. D.M. O'Neill and Hamish Hunter, the trainer at Royal Bush. Shane Walkinshaw in the cart. 2 starts, second last week. and gets the win tonight. Beautiful standing start. Manners won at the race. Torpedo, a good effort after facing the breeze the trip. And third across will be on the inside. Speechless, who's done a nice race. Third up today. Judge Ken Dempster's going to confirm second. We're back for the fifth on the card at 5 after 8.
Hope and Sons Funeral Services pace. All placings confirmed. The winner is 5, then 8, 6, 7, 9, 4. The call again, 5, 8, 6, 7, 9, 4. The margins are length and a quarter, half a head, 4 1/4 lengths. The winner's time, 250.2, a mile rate of 204.4. The last 800, 59.5, the 400, 29.5. To check in, 5, 8, 6, 7, 9, 4.
340, 140, 130, $2.10. Quinella, 380. Trifecta 43.30 in the first four, $370.30. 5, 8, 6 and 7 for race number 4. And yes, had a lot of difficulty getting into clear space, didn't he, Shane? And Smiling Armada, but once he did, he booted away from them. Race number 8 is the Gary Ross Decorator, Class 4 sprint action for the next one, the 8th on the card from Hattrick and Wanganui. Vicky's Quest, number 3 at $4.20, $1.80, $4.30 and $2.10 is the favourite. It's been second to last 3 goes. And a couple of sort of separate place favourites, I suppose. The 7 Boston Blaze, $1.80 fixed, equal favourite there. And Sugar Bang a Bang at Moneyback is the place favourite. Let's have a look at Boston Blaze in fine form at the moment. He's gone back-to-back in Class 3, so he's up in grade, but let's have a look at this win on the 23rd, the most recent victory out there in the pink.
Up to the lead, Jill Sprite runs second. They'll be followed through then by Hey You, trying to squeeze through the inside, another pizza. Back in the party then we've got Supreme Shalene, Death Star a mile from them, no chance at all, Ode to Liberty, You Know Flash. Down comes Boston Blaze, wins well. Jill Sprite is second and third, Hey You. It's been tight.
So Rozzo, Boston Blaze there, he's up in grade, but he's going nicely.
Yeah, he's makes this very, very interesting, Russell, and I thought long and hard about this because you'll note 16 starts, 9 wins, not a single minor placing. It has been win or bust. Now, the 2 wins since a bit of a gap came after a trial. The trial was won in 1768. Then the win at Manawatu came in 2187. He was really floating over the concluding stages, just a moderate time, and then 1775 last week. And Jill Sprite was starting to eat into that lead, length and a half at the line. Now he steps to Class 4, fastest time 17:59. So I think he's good enough to win it, and strangely enough I've put him in for second. It means he, if he is to finish second, obviously it'll be his first ever placing. I went with Sweet Lies off the inside, and she hasn't been a favourite of mine. She won off box 2 in Class 5 company. She's a bit lucky the night they ran 1782, and there was quite a lot of trouble in the race, but she won it nonetheless. She has run a 1750 here in the past. She's never drawn box 1. Last week, or it was actually a fortnight ago, her last start, she was bumped early and then got checked twice thereafter. Off the inside, just plumped for her over Boston Blaze, who I think can measure up in Class 4, but the whole win or bust nature worries me a wee bit. 3 Vicky's Quest, since bouncing back to this grade with a win 4 starts back. She's been jumping really well, and she's been runner-up 3 times behind Dolly Pegg, a Apawa sister, and a Apawa Wally, so she's been putting herself in the race the whole time. And 5 Shagga Bang a Bang, well, he's had 4 consecutive seconds. And since he jumped up to this grade, he's had 12 starts and 8 minor placings, so hard to take a trifecta in first 4 without him. The 4 Jumpin' Sally is a recent downgrader. She only won 6 out of 54, and she did climb up Class 3, Class 4 with wins off box number 1. But she ran 4th last time, I should say, it's 2nd of May, so she's had just about the best part of a month off, Jumpin' Sally. So we'll see what she can do back in Class 4. She's top notch off box number 8. Good to see her back on the track. January the 6th was the last time. She's up 1.4. I'm pretty confident she'll need the run. So she weighs in tonight 27 kilos, which is the heaviest she's been. She has raced at 26.8 before in second, and she has won at 26.7. That was pretty early on in her career, and towards the end of her 17 starts that she had in that first campaign, she was tending to race at around 26 kilos or a fraction below. 27 tonight for She's Top Notch. We'll be taking notes on her. Run Kayla Run comes in off the ballot, goes into box 6 in the red and white and blue, and the last win for her was actually a Class 4 final back on December the 1st. Did place at Monaco 2 starts back. but a tough draw and a tough race for her. Fastback King off box number 2. Just won 5 from 57, this dog. His recent form's been pretty solid. He's been racing on the horseshoe tracks around Cambridge and the Manawa 2. He was third here, 4 starts back behind Waterbug and Shagabangabang. Dogs behind the boxes for the Gary Ross Decorator, Class 4s. Sweet Lies goes favourite, 350 off the inside. And we'll go forward along with Vicky's Quest in box 3. Gold Rug for Shagabangabang and Boston Blaze out in 7, looking for 3 straight wins. Second line coming forward here, Fastback King, followed up by Jumpin' Sally. Run Kayla Run, red, white and blue, and to wound the outside is She's Top Notch, fresh up today. Around comes the money, they're about set to break. So race number 8, just about there. Racing, Sweet Lies was slow. Vicky's Quest goes straight to the lead. Going hard early was Jumpin' Sally, and She's Top Notch up and around the outside. They'll be followed then, trying to drive through along the inside fairly hard here would have been Fastback King. Out wider on the track to Run Kayla Run, trying to push forward as they come up towards the corner. Well back in the race now is Jumpin' Sally. Down they come. Good line up here. Ooh, Vicky's Quest maybe. Boston Blaze out wide, didn't pick it up at all. It's got up for the photo. It's right there. Along with Fastback King was close up too. They'd be followed back and behind those runners then by Shagabangabang, not too far away. Back in the race then would have been She's Top Notch after a good beginning. Sweet Lies has finished back towards the tail of the field. Run Kayla Run may have beaten it in. Good go this. With Vicky's Quest bounding to the lead, Boston Blaze has made things very interesting here. And didn't pick up Boston Blaze. Not going to blame anything. It was up outside the 3. Should have picked it up as they come to the corner. And Boston Blaze just swings out wide. Vicky's Quest closer in, between them to Fastback King. And down to the post, Boston Blaze looks like it's getting in the telling stride, and it might have kept up that winning run. Very tight though. Fastback King between them and Shagabangabang home in 4th spot. Just having a look around the corner here. Can't see the photo the boys are looking at, but Jack starting to stride confidently towards me. Head-on shot there going into that first bend. Vicky's Quest after that good beginning. Sweet Lies after that slow beginning. Just wanted out of there. Now, here comes the official. And the 3 holds. Vicky's Quest from the 7 Boston Blaze. So first minor placing. 2 Fastback King, then the 5 Shagabangabang. 3, 7, 2 and 5. Followed home then by 8, 10, 4 and 1. Winning time was 17.67 with a run home 10.30. There's a nose by a head by 1 3/4 lengths. Number 3, Vicky's Quest, a black bitch by Star Conquest out of Agent Vicky. Lana Udy owns and trains at Fielding, win 10 at start 86. Race number 9, our Quaddie gets underway next here tonight at Hantrick Raceway. It's the Rock 95.2 FM Class 4 over 305 metres, 1-6-10 all out. 9 Swapan goes into box number 1. Box 6 will be vacant. No third dividend, underway at 8:15.
Vicky's Quest, $5.50, $1.80, just holding off Boston Blaze, $2, and Fastback King, $2.60. Quinella, $11.10, Trifecta, $143.10, and the first 4, $439.20. The double, that's $8.50, and the concession double, $3.30. Quaddie starts, yes, on the next there from Hattrick at 1:15. We're back with Craig at Alexandra Park right after this.
To land the big one, you need knowledge, luck, and fearlessness. You've got to read the conditions, trust your instincts. When the pressure's on and your heart's pounding like an albatross's wing, there's nothing in the world like it. For the Triple Trio.
Land the big one with TAB Triple Trio. Get your $20 easy bet in-store or online.
Run, Seabiscuit, run!
American Ideal.
It's Blingin' On taking the lead now. The favourite draws clear from Lennis Rockdimmer. And Blingin' On goes on to score.
Besotted and McKendry too good. It's an American Ideal, Quinella.
American Ideal standing at Woodland Stud.
Protexin, the world's most advanced multi-strain probiotic, works by flooding the gut with billions of naturally occurring beneficial bacteria that are essential for intestinal good health. Using Protexin every day protects your valuable animals and birds.
Wasn't looking where I was going.
Third quarter, 28.8.
to you. Hooked on your love, like a powerful drug. I can't get enough of.
Yes, Ideal Bell. She goes round tomorrow at Cambridge in the Diamond. Barrier number 5 in the hands of Zach Butcher. Of course, Zach's had a pretty good season this season. 56 winners already to date, and looking forward to driving at least maybe 1, maybe 2 winners tomorrow. Ideal Bell, yes, Sky Major, and of course a couple of other drives earlier in the program. Race number 4 tonight. This is for the Maiden trotters. Favourite is 5 Star Monarch in the hands of Maurice McHenry. This one trained by Revel Douglas. Good second last start at the park behind Katie Allen Castleton. I think it'll be very, very hard to beat in the 4th. I put it on top, actually, the Son of Monarchy. Race number 4 tonight. The dangers, well, 9 Jogo Bonita. This is the heartbreak horse. Trained by Stephen Reed. Stephen takes to drive tonight. 550 the book, 450 on the fixed. 550 on the fixed odds, 450 on the tote. Has had a couple of trials, bloke, and if he happened to do it right tonight, probably the best trot on the field, horse 9, Jogo Bonita. 7, Terrascova, liked it last week at big money, when a cheeky race when running 4th. Another one by Monarchy, so they've got a strong hand to play the Sire Monarchy here with Star Monarch, Jogo Bonita and Terrascova. This one trained by Luck Chin. She won a good race last week, got a long way back and made up good ground to run 4th and 1, No Ordinary Sun. Trained by Matthew Salaveo. James Stormont takes the drive off the front here. His 2 last efforts, second at Cambridge behind Equale was good, and then ran on in that same race behind Katie Allen Castleton last week. Aaron's numbers 5, 1, 9 and 7. 5, 1, 9 and 7, same 4 numbers, just in a different order. He's put Star Monarch on top, overdue for a win. I think won't be too far away. Outside the top 4, I thought the early wicket, if you're playing first 4s, definitely a chance. Its first up run over the 2200 behind Jomo was good, and then missed away last week and actually made up a lot of ground. So to the early wicket, Peter Ferguson takes the drive for Wayne Thomas. Certainly one you consider in your top 4s. Head to head here on option 524. 1 No Ordinary Sun, $1.95. 2 Jogo Bonita, $1.75. Tricky market to play into that, because No Ordinary Sun usually does things right and Jogo Bonita doesn't, but on ability you'd favour the 2 over the 1 here, so option 524 if you're playing into that. Might head upstairs. I'm not sure if Jimmy Jakes is calling race number 4 tonight. Got a head-to-head here live. New Zealand 350 on option 760. This is the head-to-head versus South Africa, 220 in the draw, $2.75. That's on option 760. Minute and a half out to race number 4 tonight. Might welcome in our commentator for the 4th tonight. I'm not sure if it's Jimmy Jakes, but if he's there, a very good evening to you.
Yeah, good evening, Craig. Thank you very much. And the runners in the starting area here for race 4, the Nevada Equipment Handicap Trot over 2,200 metres. Milling around in the starting area, standing start. Runners staggered over 30 metres here at the start. And we have always, as usual, Star Monarch, which is well in the markets, firmed into $2.90 now. And there'll be a couple more updates, one would suspect. No Ordinary Sun at $5.20. He's also very well in the market. And shortly the starter will ask them to move forward. $5.10 now for No Ordinary Sun, $7.70 for the early wicket. Star Monarch out to $3.10. Terrascova into $8. Jogo Bonito, he is also well in the market, and as you mentioned earlier, can be a bit risky. $5 on the trackside New Zealand TAB. So they continue to mill around in the starting area, and shortly they'll be set to go. $2.60 now for number 5, which is Star Monarch. Quality driver Maurice McHenry. You can always bet with confidence when Maurice McHenry's in the sulky. Huge wealth of experience and has had good success when he's travelled over to Australia. And expect this to go well. Shortly the starter will ask him to move forward. So we're starting to move forward. And yeah, pretty excited to be here in New Zealand. I have been here 4 times before, the South Island for the big one, the New Zealand Cup, but the real big one is on tomorrow, obviously, at Cambridge, and looking forward to Aaron's calls and my first visit to Cambridge for the big Jules meet. Very shortly to start, I'll be asking them to move in their respective positions. Spud Murphy's about to straighten up. From the inside, we've got No Ordinary Sun. The early wicket moves up alongside of it, La Maitre D. And we've got Night in Paris, Star Monarch and Spud Murphy in the starter's hands. And they're away. Spud Murphy just wanted to duck down at the start and lay down on top of Star Monarch in the early part of the race. At this stage, most of them are doing the right thing, but after saying that the early wickets made a mistake, it looked like pacing early was Sunny Lindy. It is pacing, and it won't get back into a trot, so it's out of the early contention. As they make their way around the first turn, and No Ordinary Sun leads away. Spud Murphy in second placing. Behind those is a Night in Paris, then La Maitre D in fourth position as they sort out their positions now. Star Monarch is about 5 or 6 metres behind those. Now, Jogo Benito's doing everything right at this stage, but it's about 12 metres away, but just being balanced up to make sure it's in the correct gate and doing everything right at this stage, and is holding its position okay. Lady J's doing everything right as well. Then in turn behind those making ground was the early wicket after making that early mistake. Behind those was Solaris. It's on the inside. Then in turn behind it was Consensual. Terrascova is last of the group, and after making a mistake, trotting now, but 150 metres away is Sunny Lindy. In the meantime, the lead time was covered in 49.9 as they make their way around the bend, and out in front, still trotting okay in the early part of the race, is No Ordinary Sun. Leads away by full sulky's length. Spud Murphy in second placing, and Night in Paris is third. On the outside, starting to creep a little bit closer now, was La Maitre D, but it's facing the breeze as they start to come through now to come to the judge, and they've got to get a circuit to go. In the one out, one back now was Star Monarch getting good cover. Then in turn following those was the early wicket, who's on the outside. On the inside, as they get the bell with a circuit to go, is Jogo Benito. On the outside of it was Solaris. Making ground is Terrascova. Between runners was Consensual, and on the inside was Lady J. Around the bend they go. Still out in front on the inside is No Ordinary Sun. And second placing on the outside, putting the pressure on now as they start to go into the back straight is La Maitre D. First quarter was covered in 33.8, then at 32.5, so a 66.3 for the first half. Then in turn behind those on the inside was Spud Murphy, who's held up, good for the passing lane as they start to sort out their positions. Star Monarch in the 1-1 yet to go. Around the outside, Terrascova is 3 wide pressing forward, and Night in Paris is on the inside. Then in turn between runners was the early wicket, and the others have got a fair bit of ground to make up, and they are a long way back, headed in turn by those. We had Lady J, who's one of the tail enders. Around the bend they go, still out in front. It's No Ordinary Sun leads away, trying hard as a Night in Paris. Spud Murphy in second placing. In fact, on the outside, La Maitre D. Night in Paris is back behind those on the inside, going for the sprint lane, and down the outside, Star Monarch. Can it keep trotting? It's coming at the leader strongly. Star Monarch looms up on the outside of No Ordinary Sun. No Ordinary Sun and Star Monarch on the outside, just about levels up. They come to the finish line, or maybe on the inside, No Ordinary Sun, just in front of Star Monarch. Third placing, La Maitre D. Spud Murphy was there, or on the outside of those was Lady J for the first 4 players. A gap then behind those was La Maitre D. A Night in Paris, in fact, pulling up behind those. Not far behind it also was Consensual. Racing on its outside was Jogo Benito, who didn't really make ground. Terrascova was back there with him. Also there was Solaris, and pulling up quickly at the tail end of the field was the early wicket, and the other one has now completed the full circuit, which is Sunny Lindy. Well, I'm not sure of the angle here, Aaron. Inside or outside? Inside looks like it might be the one. No Ordinary Sun holding on here.
Official placings, race 4, the Novoda Equipment Handicap Trot. 1-5-4-8. It's a mile rate of 29.1. Last 860.1 and the 430.3. The margins are nose, 3 1/4 lengths, 1 1/4 lengths. 1-5-3-8-6-2, race 4, the Novoda Equipment Handicap Trot.
All right, race 4 on the program, the Nevada Equipment Handicap Trot over 2200. Winner number 1, No Ordinary Sun. The winning margin was a nose, a tight go by Sundon and a Wise Word. A 5-year-old Bay Gelding, and James Stormont, the winning driver for Matthew Salavio. Second placing going to number 5, Star Monarch by Monarchy out of Starkers. Bay Gelding 4 years, Morris McKendry for Ravel Douglas. Third goes to 3, La Maitre D. Bay Mare 5 years, Love You had a perfect Arndon, Todd McFarlane for Brett Marshall. Fourth placing going to number 8, and that was Lady J, just in front of number 6, Spud Murphy. Right, here's the tape dividends. No Ordinary Sun at 420, 180. Star Monarch 140. La Maitre D $8.10. The Quinella for 1 and 5, $5.20. The Trifecta 1, 5 and 3, $314.90. The first 4 1, 5, 3 and 8, $3,094.90. Now the double, the third double, 7 and 1, $15.50. The concession 7 and 5, $5.20. The sub was the second horse, number 5, Star Monarch, who just failed to get there by a nose. So we've got the all clear on race 4. All clear on the judges' numbers 1, 5, 3, 8, 6. All clear after race 4 for the trot.
Very persuasive there with Matthew's gold cap. When the boys light up as the 5, he's by Sundon. Johnny Cox driving for Eddie Murphy for Quaddie. There's the 9, Spin Doctor. Dennis O'Connell, trainer-driver of the gelding by Sundon. As the first few are being asked to stand at the tapes, and the rest of the field are doing likewise. Here's Jason.
Thanks, Russell. The featured trot on the night. Phil Williamson took the first. The other trot, the maiden trot. Looking for a double here, we're very persuasive. Now City Courage, being asked to walk forward. Doesn't want to at the moment. Now led in. Rest of the field walk in as well. Nearly ready. Race 5. Hard on the tape, Forest Heights. Revere off and racing. From the outside, Spin Doctors come away in a gallop. And also galloping up ahead was Apollo Mission. First out, though, on the inside is Forest Heights. Face Value made a good beginning, as to do was Bulladil. Maury's on the journey tonight. Right there early, very persuasive. When the boys light up on the way forward as Face Value's gone off stride. Good Boy Tiger gets around that, so too City Courage, and out wider on the track is Apollo Mission. 4 lengths away, then to Astropy and Spin Doctor. And Sun Crusher, oh, he's off stride again tonight, the old boy, and he's about 20 lengths away. Up to the turn they come, 2,300 metres left to run. And it's Forest Heights in control. On the outside, Earl's Bullet Girl. Here's Armory, 3 wide around them. Galloping in behind them is very persuasive there. Back along the markers, going back through the field quickly. So, getting into the trail was Good Boy Tiger up the inside. On the outside of that, in the 3 back and 1 off position, is When the Boys Light Up. From on the inside, Spin Doctor. Then came City Courage the outside, a length and a half away, then to Apollo Mission going back to the pegs. On the outside of that is Astropy, 2 lengths away, Face Value. Sun Crusher, and now last, is very persuasive. 1,800 left to run. And in front is Forest Heights, shows the way. By a length only from on the outside, Maury. In the trail, Good Boy Tiger, a masterly piece of driving by Williamson early. Then came Earl's Bulladil, the 1-1 at the 1,600 metre mark. The lead time, 2,700 stand, 1:30.6. Back on the inside, 3 back the markers is Spin Doctor. On the outside is the big boy, When the Boys Light Up. Then came Apollo Mission. On the outside of that is City Courage. 2 lengths away, Astropy. From on the inside, Face Value. A length and a half, Sun Crusher. And 6 lengths to Very Persuasive is last of the field. They're halfway, 13.50 out from home, and it's still Forest Heights on top for Ellie Malcolmson. On the outside is Maury. Good Boy Tiger getting a beautiful run in the trail. Down through the straight they come, the opening quarter of the last mile, 34.4. In the 1-1 is Earl's Bullet Girl. 3 back the inside, Spin Doctor. Then came When the Boys Light Up, who's trotting beautifully tonight. 3 back and 1 off. Then came on the inside is Apollo Mission. The outside, City Courage. Face Value's locked away. 5 back the inside. Astropy is patiently driven on the outside of that. 2 lengths away, Very Persuasive, and Sun Crusher. A competitive trot out towards the 850 metre mark. The leader remains Forest Heights. Second quarter, 31.7. A length in advance of on the outside, Armory. In the trail was Good Boy Tiger. Then came Earl's Bullet Girl in the 1-1. 3 back the markers, awaiting spaces, Spin Doctor. Then came When the Boys Light Up, ready to pounce. 2 lengths away, City Courage. Apollo Mission, here's Astropy out, 3 wide moving. Behind that then is Face Value. Further back in the field, Very Persuasive. And last is Sun Crusher. Off the back, 4.50 to go. Armory and Forest Heights, the 2 leaders. Back straight, quarter 30.3. 3 wide now is Earl's Bullet Girl. Good Boy Tiger awaits the passing lane. Then came Spin Doctor. When the Boys Light Up, wider out on the track then is Astropy running on, but still 5 lengths to make up into the straight. At the 200, Forest Heights. Good Boy Tiger back to the passing lane. Wider out Armory. Armory pounces on Forest Heights. Good Boy Tiger up the passing lane. Good Boy Tiger runs to the front. Armory put that down to Nathan Williamson's drive, and Good Boy Tiger will win it. Armory and flying through Spin Doctor. That'll run third. Next in Forest Heights, Earl's Bullet Girl. Apollo Mission, Astropy gallop late. They were followed in then by City Courage, When the Boys Light Up. Sun Crusher, early gallop costume. Further back, Face Value. It'll be one of the last to go past. 30.2 the last quarter. Around 3.37 off the front, so we'll take a bit off that. Good Boy Tiger. Bad luck for Matthew Williamson. Good luck for Nathan at the same time. A Very Persuasive galloped with 2 to go. Nathan ducked into the trail, snuck through, and that was the winner of the race. Armory's gone another good race. That's what it can do when it trots. And Spin Doctor, he's missed away and he's flown into third in front of Forest Heights, who at 70 to 1 gave them plenty to catch. So there's the leader, Bruce and Colleen Negus, the owners. Bruce Negus, the trainer at Waikawa Iti, and Nathan Williamson with the smartest drive in the race, gets the win. Probably wouldn't have won if it didn't get that piece of driving. And maybe if Very Persuasive hadn't galloped as well. But luck's a fortune in this game, and Good Boy Tiger got plenty of it there. Astropy, a very good run for second, and Spin Doctor, gee, he was a good run tonight for third. in front of Forest Heights. Roughies galore, Russell, after race number...
Just a bit under $2. Getting set for the first leg of the Quaddie at Wongi. Pool hovering around $5,000. And it's race number 9 to kick it off on meeting code number 10. It's the Rock FM Class 4 Sprint, no third dividend in box number 6 vacant. The reserve here, Rozzo, as we come to you, is Swapan, the 9 greyhounder box number 1, and it's a live chance from there.
Yeah, he certainly is, Russell. He's had a series of box 5s, 2 starts back in Class 5 company. He showed out, thought he was going to push to the lead at the first bend, got badly checked, shuffled back to last. Then he had no luck from box 5 in the downgrade run last Friday. Into box number 1, he gets every opportunity to bounce back here. Having said that, Lost in Light is a downgrader too, number 8, and off box 8, 3 starts back, ran a pretty respectable 4th and behind Nitro Lewis in Class 4. Pretty good record out in box number 8, and I'd expect her to show form quickly back in this grade. The 5 Fierce Star too, I think, comes right into the reckoning, especially with box 6 being vacant now. A bit of extra room might help him. This hasn't been his favourite track, although his only win came in a 17.52. That was back in July last year. His last win was early February in Class 5 company at Palmerston North. Now, he's had 2 runs back in the last week after a 2-month break. And he really has not had a lot of luck in either. Wouldn't surprise me to see a much better run from him, particularly with a wee bit of space to work in early. Fierce Star. And I thought those 3 stood out in terms of a first leg of a Quaddie. Second leg of the Quaddie's our feature tonight. The New Zealand Racing Series Advanced Final and Blitzing Mayhem and Anchor if you want to go that short. Really clever, obviously a good enough dog to include Speedy Kazza, maybe a winning chance there too, but back up potentially Nitro Lewis, Exponential Lily. Last leg, pop some tags, fairly confident with him from box 8. Homebush Crash racing really well here, has the inside. Bulk Rama Sir Richie, they're all in good form, but I think the 8 very hard to beat in the last. Pop some tags with Homebush Crash, the best backup there. Good luck anyway, whichever way you play the Quaddie, or if you've already played it. Only a minute out from the first leg. So we talked about the 9, the 8, the 5. 4, Stiff Drink, Class 3 winner, 3 starts back. It was his first win in 39 starts. He was in trouble on Monday. He ran second last weekend behind Miss McFly in a pretty open Class 4 race. Wee bit of space might open up for him early with Kazillion on his immediate inside, who tends to look for the rail, and Stiff Drink a chance for perhaps a place again. Kazillion off box number 3. She's well over 4 now, but she continues to race really well at start 111 tonight. She ran second to Lost in Light, 4 starts back, who's a form pretty well at the moment, but did leave her out. Ever So Hopeful off box number 7. Just won the 2 from 37 here. Ran third last week behind Miss McFly and Stiff Drink. Probably just have to lift a margin on that again, because I think it's a bit of better field with Swapan, Lost in Light and Fierce Star all in here. And we'll be looking for Ever So Hopeful. The Rock 95.2 FM Class 4 gets us underway in the Quaddie. Also the first leg of a double. Swapan to lead them up in box 1. Has the green and white rug. Is the favourite 310 just from the 8 Lost in Light. Into box 3 goes Kazillion. Gold rug there for Fierce Star and Ever So Hopeful, box 7. In the second line popping forward with Homebush Sarge. Stiff Drink, box 6 is vacant, and the outside Lost in Light. Round comes the bunny, just about set to go. And they race, and Swapan just a fair break the inside. Coming out fast there would have been Kazillion. Ever So Hopeful around the outside. Swapan trying to push through on the inside. Stiff Drink between runners. Geez, it's tight this. Around the outside comes Lost in Light with the big strides. Further back in the race then to Homebush Sergeant, Fierce Star. Up towards the corner they come. Kazillion in front, trying hard down the outside. Lost in Light, Kazillion, Lost in Light. Ever So Hopeful, Swapan is 4th. That'd be followed by Stiff Drink and the last pair, Homebush Sarge and Fierce Star. Kazillion. Well, she's amazing. She's delivered again. She hopped out very nicely, and she's held out Lost in Light, who had a fair shot at her. From the hop, Swapan, not the best break there. Kazillion got across very quickly to the rail. Ever So Hopeful in the early party. Stiff Drink between runners, and Swapan pushes the inside. And that gave the opportunity for Lost in Light to get around the tightened runners. Fierce Star going back through the field, so the spear box on his outside just wasn't enough for him. And he's just racing without confidence, but Kazillion into the straight in front. Lost in Light down the outside, tried hard. And Ever So Hopeful's peaked down third, ahead of quickly across Swapan, who wasn't the best out either. And gets to that bend in front. Ever so hopeful there to challenge. Things got a wee bit tight. Stiff Drink just getting up on heels a wee bit. Lost in Light whipped around the outside at good speed. 3, 8, 7 and 9. Followed home by 4, 2 and 5. Winner's time 17.84. Run home 10.57. Half a length by 1 1/4 lengths by 1 length. The margins. Kazillion. Black Bitch by Wongi out of Mood Swinger for Deb Edlin at Shannon. Owns and trains. Win 14, start 111. And she's going back to Class 5. Race number 10 tonight. First leg of the last treble. Advanced Racing Series final. Features Blitzing Mayhem. Really Clever and others. And we're underway at 8:45.
$1.90 for Blitzing Mayhem, favourite for the feature of the night. $9.83, Kazillion, Lost in Light, $2.30, no third dividend, the 7. Quinella, $14.90, trifecta, $297.50. First four gives $1,246.60. What about wrapping the treble? If you went with the number 3, you're rolling in $53.10. Well done. Alexandra Park is next. Race number 5 kicks off the $50,000 pick 6. Craig, we're back with you.
Yeah, thanks, Russell. First leg of pick 6, of course, kicks off 7:55 with some 5.5 minutes out from that. Got a dominant favourite here. I thought one of the better bets of the night, number 6, Scarlett Johansson. Those who got the 480 this morning, pat yourselves on the back. $2.20 on the tote at the moment, $2.20 on the book. No better. Nice draw, barrier number 2. Good on debut. What happened second up?
Yeah, probably a bit my own fault more than anything, Craig. Wasn't really the horse's fault. She just come off the gate a bit better than what I thought she would, and the front was there for her, and I just probably had to push her a bit hard, and she's probably not ready for something like that. But she's drawn handy again tonight, but I don't think I'll be pushing her off just because of what happened last time. But the way she found the line in her first start, I think she'll be a definite danger in this field.
That's Josh Dick. Trained by Wayne Anstis. Lovely filly this one by Al Sue. I think she's a half to Alina Jet, this one. Got a bit of the family ability. Unlucky at Cambridge last start. As I say, backed in heavily today, and she did parade very nicely on track. So 6, Scarlett Johansson. 3, Sweet Lucy Brown, the main danger for me. Good run last start at the park behind. Better Keep the Faith. I think she's just improving with each run. Another one beautifully bred out of Hot Shoe Shuffle. So has a bit of quality about this filly. And I thought of the rest, number 9, Black Santana, may be the best value in the race. Joe Mocha takes the drive. This one for Tony Hurley. Probably its best run for quite some time at the park behind Kurihapu Gambler last week. So I marked them 6, 3, 9 and 2 in the first leg of pick 6 tonight. Aaron's numbers 3, 2, 7 and 6 as we look at the grey horse, or the roan horse, Bronson's Son. Son of Cambridge was fair. Didn't go overly quick, about 2:49, but he was running on. Simon Lawson takes the drive, and he's at about a $12 quote. If you're playing into the pick 6, just quickly, second leg, I thought the bottom 2, Russian Al Sue, Pacific Rapture, both chances along with Handlebar Hank. The third leg, very keen on Jasinski here at a little bit of value. This one trained by Luck Chin, downgraded from a 3 to a 2. 8 Jasinski in the third leg. Chibjorn, certainly a chance. It is 2,200 metres. A lot of word on track for 14. Rare opportunity. The fourth leg, the Breeders' Stakes. I thought Gold Elite could win here. Better Romance off the front. Zach Butcher gave it a decent push when I interviewed him earlier. And Millie Sampson. Race 9. I thought Kippenberger, the best value on the night. $7 on the fixed odds. Horse number 7, race 9. Good each way chance. God forbid from the inside. And your likely leader 5, Chief Thundercloud. And into the last. One roughie on the night you might want to put in is 3, Bryden Ideal. First up, big bloke this, the son of American Ideal. Had a good look at him at the trials a couple of weeks ago. He's taken a long time, but he's not the worst. His stablemate Sky Art's a chance, and Major Classic. Those 3, 4 and 7 in the last leg of pick 6 tonight. Sky Art, of course, the full brother to Sky Major. We might pipe upstairs. Of course, Jimmy Jucks called the last. His first call at Alexandra Park. It was an outstanding call too. Got the angle completely 100% right. Very good evening to you, Jimmy. You're in New Zealand to see the Jewels tomorrow. I want to ask you a couple of questions while we've got 3 minutes to the next.
Okay.
Firstly, where did you come up with no more bets? Because we hear it here in New Zealand all the time. Obviously, that's the dogs. Which do you prefer, the dogs or the harness?
I prefer the harness. No more bets. I'm a bit of a casino freak. And look, whenever I visited the South Island, I always go to the Christchurch Casino, because at that stage when I was going there, they were sponsoring the big New Zealand Cup. So I'm a bit of a roulette player. So no more bets, I suppose, come into it. I just thought of it one day. I thought, well, the way we operate in Australia, when the green light goes on, we have to tell our people that are listening down the track and just let them know that the green light is on and there's no more bets, no more bets at all involved. Got my good friend Aaron White over here. He's going to join us now. We're having a great time.
I want to ask you, you've been commentating for a while. You're in South Australia.
Adelaide's, it is a sister city to Christchurch, very similar. And basically, enjoy the not too fast pace of Adelaide and South Australia, and everything's close,
Jimmy, you're here for the Jewels tomorrow. You had a good look through the fields. Is there one in particular race? And I'll put you on the spot. Unfortunately, we've lost the only Australian that was going to be here during the week. But there's a couple of exciting races. Obviously, Adore Me goes round in the first race. You've seen plenty of here in Australia. We've got a very smart 2-year-old going around that you've seen over there. He's unbeaten to date. Follow the Stars. Is there one in particular race you're looking at? And can you throw the New Zealand viewers a one out?
Well, I've got to say, have you got the market there for the 3-year-old fillies?
The 3-year-old fillies, I have got a market here. What's your tip?
Well, who's our favourite?
In the 3-year-old fillies, we've got Ideal Bell at $1.75.
Yes, that's it.
Yep, she's a very good filly. Zach Butcher had him on earlier on the night. Of course, won the Oaks last week, Jimmy, and very impressive beating Raark's-Deal, and she comes up with barrier 4 now with Millie Sampson coming out from barrier number 3. So, I think you're in the right direction there at $1.75. So
I noticed her in a race here where I missed the fact that, as you know, people have probably seen the same thing, $1.95 into $1.75, but I missed the fact that... Scoring up now, race 5. This is the Animal Stuff Stores, Karaka, Drury, Takanini. Mobile pays over 2,200. Mobile picks up speed. Whiskey and Frisky from the inside. Set to go. Ready now. Green light goes on, away in race king. Not much speed from Whiskey and Frisky, showing good speed out wide with Scarlett Johansson, who's trying to spear across and find the front. Joe and Ned or better is in second placing. Third placing, Whiskey and Frisky. Behind those on the outside was Sweet Lucy Brown. On the inside was Black Santana. There's one that's galloping out the back. That's Bronson's Son. It's made a mistake. It's history. It's galloping and losing valuable ground as they start to make their way around the bend. Charming Desire settles down in third last placing in the main group. Got to go. Plain Jane is behind those, and at the tail end of the field was Bride and Jet. Down the back they go, and out in front a clear leader is Scarlett Johansson. Leads by 5 or 6 metres. Joe and Ned Know Better is in second placing. In third placing behind those, Whiskey and Frisky. Lead time covered in 43.2 as they make their way around the bend. They've got just under a mile to travel now as they start to go around the bend. In fourth placing behind those was Sweet Lucy Brown. All in Indian file, but after saying that, Sweet Lucy Brown now leaves its position and comes one off. Black Santana's going to grab the one out, one back. Behind those was Charming Desire. Looks like it's going to follow it through. Got to go. Plain Jane is second last of the main group, then Bride and Jet, and virtually pulled up was Bronson's Son after making that mistake. First quarter covered in 31.8, and they've got around 1,100 metres to go, and they'll get the bell shortly. And out in front of Scarlett Johansson, leads by a full sulky's length as they come to the judge with a circuit to go. In second placing, Joe and Ned Know Better, and on the outside facing the breeze is Sweet Lucy Brown. In the one out, one back was Black Santana. Second last placing of the group was Bride and Jet, and racing on its outside has got to go Plain Jane. 30.6 that second quarter as they make their way down the back, and the first half was covered in 62.4, and Scarlett Johansson in front still travels well, leads by 4 metres, travelling comfortably. Want to be on it at this stage, I'd say. In second placing on the outside is Sweet Lucy Brown. On the inside, Joe and Ned Know Better. Coming to the outside, Black Santana's coming with its 3 wide runners. They make their way around the bend. Then in turn behind those, going between runners was Whiskey and Frisky. Third quarter was 30.4. Scarlett Johansson still leads by a full full sulky's length. On the outside, making good ground now as Black Santana looms as a major threat. It's about 4 metres away, but it is off the track. Still battling away there with Sweet Lucy Brown. In front, Scarlett Johansson flat out. It's running on empty. They're starting to pick it up now. Right down the outside, Black Santana. Also there, Sweet Lucy Brown. And late between runners is Charming Desire. Charming Desire starting to come at them quickly. And Charming Desire takes it. Second, I think, very tight. Sweet Lucy Brown or Black Santana out wide. Could go the other way there. Fourth placing behind those was Scarlett Johansson. Didn't offer too much. Behind those, got to go Plain Jane. A good gap to the others. Whiskey and Frisky. It finished back near the tail end of the field. Joe and Ed know better. Then in turn behind those was Bride and Jet. And I think we've covered the lot. Pulled up and going home the wrong way was Bronson's Son. Charming Desire getting the late split between runners. Heavens opened up. Going wide. Out wide was Black Santana and straight through the middle. Charming Desire. Ivel Brownlee training and driving has scooted through in the centre in a final section of 30.8.
Official placings, race 5, the Animal Stuff Stores, Karaka, Jury and Takanini Mobile Pace. 893-641. 893-641. Horse 8, Charming Desire, paced the 2,200 metres in 246.98. A mile rate of 22.1. Last 861.2 and the 430.8. The margins 1 length, a head, a half length. 893-641, race 5, the Animal Stuff Stores, Karaka, Drury, Takanini, Mobile Pace.
Okay, let's have a look at the totes, preliminary totes. Charming Desire, $59.20 and $9.50. Black Santana at $2.50. Sweet Lucy Brown, $1.30. The Quaddie, $253.40 for the combination of 8 and 9. The Trifecta, $893, $1,356.90. The first 4, 8, 9, 3 and 6, $5,399.30. And the sub was number 3, Sweet Lucy Brown, who battled on well after facing the breeze. Charming Desire, five-year-old bay mare. Real Desire out of Charming Tricks. Ivel Brownlee, the winning trainer and driver, getting first prize. Second, number 9, Black Santana, is a 3-year-old bay gelding. Art Major out of Black Magic Woman. Joe Mocha for Tony Hurley. Third, number 3, Sweet Lucy Brown. Bay Filly, 3 years. Mark 3 out of Hot Shoe Shuffle. Philip Butcher for Mike Berger. Fourth goes to 6, Scarlett Johansson. And fifth goes to number 4, Gotta Go Plain Jane. That's race 5. The Animal Stuff Stores, Karaka, Drury, Takanini, Mobile Pace over 2,200, race 5. Thank you for putting up with me. And then back to Aaron.
Thanks, everybody, with Jim Jakes taking us through those 2 races here. First time in the North Island, first time to Alexandra Park, and great to hear those dulcet tones that we know so well from South Australia. And good luck to the team here too for the Jules weekend.
the stand event. New Zealand record being set tonight by number 3 Jasper's Blue Jeans. Start number 220 for the old fella tonight, and he's equalled the record at 219 here last week and 220 tonight. He's won 4 and had 37 placings, Jasper's Blue Jean, and it wouldn't be a Forbury meeting if he wasn't here. How many more he's going to have, I'm not so sure, but he gets a good draw to work with tonight, and Rory McIlwraith gets the privilege to steer him round in his record-setting race tonight, 220th time. So we're on start time for race number 6. This is the biggest field of the night. The Rico and Ray White Real Estate Mobile Pace. They're about to be called up. Stablemates in here. Alexi has a dark blue helmet with Brad Williamson. White helmet Hudson Sully 13. 6 Sage gold helmet of Matthew Williamson, and 7 Tartan Trilogy with the white helmet. Now we move up for the Rico and Ray White Real Estate Mobile Pace from the Pride's Easy Feed marshalling point. Favourite Arden Castle down in 1. $2.10, 1.30. Gee, Irish Cath, $5.20 now. Certainly moved in 60% in the last 5 or 6 minutes. Round they come. Keep It Clean Limited Mobile has them at dispatch point, racing, and away they go. Arden Castle down on the inside, left the gate fast. Jasper's Blue Jean out wider on the track is Alexi moving forward, wants a piece of the action. Back over on the inside, Supreme Jean's favourite, rough Arden Castle. Gallop for 3 strides, she's down and pacing. Arden Castle, she's going to lose the lead here to Alexi on the first corner. Still rough Arden Castle behind the lead up. 3 back the inside, Supreme Jeans. Probably not a great place to be at this stage, though. A length and a half away, best of the bunch. Jasper's Blue Jean on the outside of that. 2 lengths away as they work up into the back straight now is going to be Having a Party. Back on the inside of these then is Hudson Sully as they head down towards the 1,600 metre mark, where the lead time was 44.1. And behind, Hudson Sully out 3 wide on those is going to be Sunnyview Bay Boy. They were followed through on the outside too by Irish Cath. 3 lengths Jackson Jones. 2 lengths away behind that then is Sage. A length and a half Tartan Trilogy. And 2 lengths last is Avros Rustler. They're well spread. About 18 over the field as they come down to the turn. And it's Alexi being looked at now by the favourite Arden Castle, who's on the outside of the leader, still pacing a bit roughly. And 3 wide on those then is going to be Sunnyview Bay Boys, and has had a perilous trip. The opening quarter of the last mile, 33.6. Supreme Jeans. Nathan Williamson's driven another one here. It's got the back of the leader. 3 back on the inside is having a start. 220 is Jasper's Blue Jean. 3 back and 1 off, best of the bunch. Then came Having a Party on the outside, who's in the 1 outline. On the inside of these then is Hudson Sully. A length and a half Irish Cath. Then came Sage the inside and Jackson Jones on the outer at the 800 metre mark. Second quarter was 29.9. Behind Jackson Jones is Tartan Trilogy, and 2 lengths last is Avros Rustler. Down the back they go, 700 metres out. Alexi still in control, by a length only. On the outside is Sunnyview Bay Boy. Your favourite's gone, Arden Castle. It's going to run last. Down back over on the inside, Supreme Jeans. Best of the bunch, 3 wide. Having a Party follows that round from Jasper's Blue Jean. Irish Cath is close enough, if good enough. Galloping best of the bunch. It's been a hairy race. Back straight quarter, 29.7. Running on from the tail now is Hudson Sully. Wider out on the track, Jackson Jones. Further back to Sage and also Tartan Trilogy. On the turn, 220 out. Lining them up is Alexi. Sunnyview Bay Boy. Back to the passing lane, Supreme Jeans. And Irish Cath has swooped on them. Irish Cath down the outside has run to the front and starts to pull right away. The race worked out beautifully for Irish Cath. Kirsten Barclay in the cart. Too good. Second, very close. Sage or Supreme Jeans up the inside, and right between them, Jasper's Blue was Jackson Jones. Then next in then was going to be Hudson Sully. Beside that was Alexi. Further back in the field then as they went across the line would have been Tartan Trilogy. Then Jasper's Blue Jean. Further back Sunnyview Bay Boy. Having a Party. Further away in the field then was best of the bunch. And Arden Castle. She's yet to finish. She's down to an absolute walk. Something right amiss with her tonight. And she'll clock in now, 29.6 on the way home, 2:47.2. The overall time, you needed about 6 sets of eyes to see what was going on in that race, I can tell you. But Irish Kath, I could see she was travelling all of the way. Good drive, Kirsten Bartley. Sage will get second out wide at 3:10, and Supreme Jeans, every chance, in third spot. And she was gone at the 600, and she walked home. So whether she's fibrillated or something vet-related, I'm not sure, but she was right off her game tonight, Arden Castle, and, well, Fulbury Park can do that to you. But the winner, though, Irish Kath, makes it 2 in a week. 3-year-old filly by Mikado from Sweet Georgia for DH, Mrs. KM and SD Rankin. Kirsten Bartley driving for Crandell Getty. The race panned out beautifully for her. That's the 6th on the night. Judge Kim Dempster is about to wrap it all up. We're back for the last at 9:05.
Placings confirmed. The margins 3 1/4 lengths, half a head, half a length. The winner's time 2:47.36, a mile rate of 2:02.4. The last 800 59.4, the 400 29.2. To check in 12 6 10 4 13 9.
Yes, we'll have to keep an eye on the stops report for Arden Castle. And, well, in running, you were hoping there was in-race betting and you'll be able to pile into Irish Kath. Well, it pays a good price when everything is all said and done. But, that's with hindsight. Now time for the feature at Wanganui, race number 10, 220 and 120 for Steve Clark and Mark Rosanowski. As we come to you for the main race of the evening, there's some heavy hitters in this one.
Thanks there, Russell. You're just giving the market on track, and 9 What's Up G into box 6, 11.63.40. You can have my undivided attention now. They came out late. I'm not sure why. It is very cold, but feature race tonight, it's good to have them out on the track and the 3 minutes out and not on the track. However, came out and recorded a meeting best at Manukau on Sunday. So he's in good shape for this. He was an Advanced Racing Series winner here on the track in February as well. Very hard to beat, and that's clearly where all the money has gone with the book today, because he's been backed in from $2.50 to $1.80, and everything else has drifted markedly, really. 12 Irish Kath at $4.90, $1.60 at Forbury, 6 Sage $3.20, 10 Supreme Jeans $2.50, Quinella $43.70, Trifecta $401, and the first 4, 12, 6, 10 and 4, $1,775.60. Red Crystal leading them out there and bouncing on the lead for Bill Hodgson. She draws the inside. She's won 2 from 15 off the inside. She does show good early speed as a rule. She's had a series of awkward draws of late. An opportunity for her to get on the pace, stay on the pace here. She ran second 5 starts back to Big Time Jet, who last win was this draw in the Class 4 sprint at Palmerston North. Number 3, Blitzing Mayhem, though, for all the reasons I've just mentioned, and overall has won 17 from 32, the one to beat. But very nice field. Number 8, Really Clever, was also in that Futurity final a fortnight back and finished at the back of the field. Actually got into a bit of trouble early with Speedy Kazza, who ran last in that Futurity final. Really Clever's had 1 run since. It was on Monday at Manawa 2. It had box 1, and he got squeezed up early, and then he started to push off, and he got into a wee bit of trouble. 4 starts ago at Palmerston North, he ran a slashing 25.63, only 0.2 of a second outside the Great Little Mother's record. We know what he can do. He's had box 8 once. It was in Class 1, and he won 30.14 here back in January. But it's different, box 8 against a quality field like this. But you'd think he'll be in the thick of it. Really Clever. He's a sub 30-second performer. 5, Speedy Kazza, after running last in that New Zealand Futurity after the early trouble when she stepped right from box 2. She had box 5 last week, and she won a head bobble with Punch On Jamie. And Punch On Jamie's run another nice race tonight as well, a little earlier on, finishing 3rd behind Ritsadani. Speedy Kazza a chance to get on the speed again and get some of the stake here. 9 What's Up G comes into the race for the Ahern camp. They've got 3 in the race, and What's Up G's run a fortnight ago for 2nd behind Way Too Crude was just an indication that maybe he's coming back to his better form. And for a bit of value, he could get some of this, although he's only at 2.10 for the place. Barry's Way's got a bit of early speed off box number 7. Got chopped out of it box number 1 last week. He hasn't won since he came back from a spell, but he has run some good races from near the front. Hello, Hello, number 4. Back to Wouldn't say her best necessarily, but 3 starts back she did pick up a Class 4 win. And then, although a distant third behind Thrilling Brave, it wasn't a bad effort back into Class 5. Might need a wee bit of luck off box number 4 here. However, Renee Ranger's the interesting dog off box 2, and last couple of runs where he has been drawn close in. He's got squeezed at the first bend and he just hasn't liked it, and he's backed out of there, so we'll see what he can do tonight, but he's a quality dog on top of his game. Advanced Racing Series final, straight final. Down they go, Red Crystal in 1. Favourite is Blitzing Mayhem off the 3. Gold Rug for Speedy Kazza, and out in 7 is Barry's Way. Second line to step forward, Renee Ranger, black and white. Blue rug there for Hello Hello. What's Up G, green and white box 6, and the outside Really Clever. In the pink is the second favourite. Round comes the bunny. About to break in the night's feature, just about there. And racing, Blitzing Mayhem, a fair break. Getting off quickly there would have been Renee Ranger, and through on the inside to Red Crystal. What's Up G's right there around the first bend as well. Blitzing Mayhem's got shuffled there. Really Clever's gone right up to second. Let's get back to the top. It's What's Up G in front. Really Clever tackles at the outside. 3 lengths away to Red Crystal. They'll be followed over on the outside then by Speedy Kaz at the inside to Hello Hello. Blitzing Mayhem is no chance now. Further back in the race then to Barry's Way. Up to the corner they come. In front is Really Clever. It's well and truly in front. Trying hard, Speedy Kaz. Really Clever, Speedy Kaz. What's Up G third, then Hello Hello. Blitzing Mayhem was 5th. Further back in the race then Red Crystal, Barry's Way, and a good margin back to Renee Ranger. Things went wrong for him again at the first bend. Really Clever for the Ahern camp, and he posts win 17 at start 27. Gee, it was a charge into that first bend. So we picked them up again, Really Clever in front. What's Up G's gone a bold race. Speedy Kazza whipping the outside of that. Hello Hello, a big race too, and Blitzing Mayhem. Right there at the first bend, the head-on will tell us, but there was trouble. Blitzing Mayhem caught plenty of that, and by the time they settled, he was too far back. Renee Ranger hopped out well. Red Crystal with the inside. Blitzing Mayhem bounces off Speedy Kazza, going to the first bend. Things get tight in here. And Renee Ranger drifts right out the back door, and he lost several lengths too after that. Just not happy at the moment. Boxes 1 and 2. Concentrate on the winner, number 8, Really Clever, a brindle dog by Cosmic Rumble out of Azure Allegro for Lisa Ahern and Craig Rendell. Congratulations, it's win 17 at start to 27. Let's make it official with Judge J 16, run home 11.35, 11.35, 2 3/4 lengths by 2.5 lengths by half a length. Second favourite home in race 10, the Advanced Racing Series final. Really Clever back at the head of the field. Race number 11, we finished with a couple of Class 5 sprints, and the Crombie Lockwood's the next to go. Ballots are out 9 and 10. We're underway at 9:15.
And to wrap race number 10, Rozzo, the 8, Really Clever for 31.70. Speedy Kaz at 2.10, and What's Up G, 2.40. 5.8 Quaddie, 13.40. Trifecta gives $176.40. First 4, $955.50. 8, 5, 9 and 4. With a nice up close shot of your winner, Really Clever. 3-8 double is $20.90. Concession double 3 and 5, $11.90. And yes, as Rozzo mentioned, open class sprint action for the last 2 races, with the final race about 9:30. Alexandra Park, they've gone back a full race, so they're last at 20 minutes to now, the rescheduled start time for that one. And that's where we go next for the second for the amateur drivers.
The world's biggest sporting tournament is coming, and so is the TAB's biggest prize ever. It's your chance to pocket a life-changing $5 million. Pick the outcomes of the games of the 2014 Football World Cup for free, and you could be a multi-millionaire. Enter for free now at tabchallenge.co.nz for your chance to score $5 million. Trackside and TAB TV work within the guidelines of the broadcast.
The Glenferrie Farm 4-year-old Trotters Championship. It's Paramount GG in front. Tenason's taking ground off him but won't get him. He's back on track, Paramount GG.
Pegasus Spur standing at Woodland Stud.
Welcome back to Alexandra Park. Just prior to race number 6 tonight, the Tracer Sulky New Zealand Amateur Drivers Mobile Pace. Favourite here, 6 Handlebar Hank, trained by the wizard Todd Mitchell. Sheldon Murtha takes the drive on the son of Christian Cullen. Ran fast front row here. You got McRaw from the inside. Nicole Vitasova can leave the gate with a vengeance. Well, we know how quick he's off the gate, and Gavin Cook, he likes to go forward. So from barrier number 5 tonight, there's plenty of speed off runners 1, 2, 5 and 6 here. So it could set it up from something back in the field. And I'm quite keen on Steve Phillips. Very good driver, takes the drive to the second row, following out one that can leave the gate. I'd take the $5 on the fixed odds. I think she's a bit of each way anyway. Number 10, Pacific Rapture on top. To beat 9, Russian Elsu, Tim Vince takes the drive. Of course, Tim does a lot of work on this track. Has a small team here based at Alexandra Park, and he drives this one for Matthew Collins, a filly mare by Elsu. Follows out McRaw, should get a nice run through. So I thought Russian Elsu a chance. Handlebar Hank, the horse on screen at the moment, in those colours of Sheldon Murtha. And for 4th, 5 with a vengeance. 10, 9, 6 and 5 in race number 6 tonight. Tim's got 2 stable runners in the race. He drives Russian Elsu. He's actually got Celtic Warrior and With a Vengeance in the race. Celtic Warrior, formerly trained by Jeff Small. I think Tim purchased this horse not that long ago, and Warren Rich will take the drive from barrier number 7. Very consistent horse. He doesn't win out of turn. A lot of placings, not many wins, but here's one of those horses with the right sort of run that can be very competitive here, and Aaron's found him on top at around about $6. 7, Celtic Warrior. He's put Pacific Rapture in With a Vengeance and found a spot for Russian Elsu as well. Aaron, 2 minutes out from race number 6 tonight, second of the amateur drivers race. A little bit of carnage in the first. Let's hope everything gets around safety in the second. We had a bit of an outsider taking up the first leg, and 8 Charming Desire around about 60 to 1.
Yeah, knocking just about everybody out of pick 6 already, Craig, with just 574.62 live. I'm with Celtic Warrior here, number 7. Thought his form in his last few have been pretty good. If you go back 3 starts at Cambridge over the 1700 and behind Sky Major, beaten 6.5 lengths, but that was in 155. Beaten 7 lengths next up by Destination Moon, and then had to do a bit of work here back in early May. So I'm with him. Warren Rich doing the driving for Timmy Vince. We'll put in the 10 Pacific Rapture. Amazing run for 3rd after doing so much ground in the score-up when here last week. Steve Phillips, J. Abernathy. The 5 With a Vengeance, Gavin Cookwell in the mix, as to the 9. That being Russian Elsu, so we've got that well in the mix as well. 7, 10, 5 and 9 for me here, Craig, in race 6.
Thanks, Aaron. If you're out of pick 6, don't forget first leg of the Quaddie is the race afterwards, and of course that is for $50,000. Aaron, if you're still there, quickly, tomorrow, 9 races there. One of the interesting races I thought on the card, race number 6, that is the Emerald. Got Tiger Tara in there. Obviously, Sky Major, outstanding workout here, beating Adore Me on Saturday. I was very keen on Isaiah, though, from barrier number 2. Gate speed's going to put him in the right spot, and he's been racing very well on the box seat on Wednesday night. Natalie and Mark both said their best chance of winning a race on the card was Isaiah. What's your feeling on race number 6?
He's perfectly drawn, isn't he, Isaiah? I did go with Tiger Tamer, of course, or Tiger Tara, of course, with the way he's been racing through the season, taking the Sire Stakes final on Cup Day, winning the Northern Derby here. He's drawn on the outside of Isaiah, and I suppose that's the key around Sky Major's chances. If Isaiah and Tiger Tara lock horns tomorrow, Craig, the team from the Purden Camp Barry's team will be hoping that they really, really go hard, that pair, and that will see Sky Major hopefully be able to get into the race in the last 200 metres. But if Isaiah leads and gets a cheap lead, it could well be all over by the 800 tomorrow. It should be an interesting race. But yeah, I did go the way of Tiger Tara.
Yeah, we've seen in the past at Cambridge, very few runners come from back in the field at Cambridge. You have to be in the first 4 from about the 800 metre marker, or you just not in the mix. Barry draws are
Tracer Sulky, New Zealand Amateur Drivers Mobile Pace, and second leg of pick 6. Now Pacific Rapture. Let's have a look at her. She is scoring up okay, some 5 or 6 lengths off the field here. Steve Phillips has her balanced up. Thanks, Craig. The final heat of the Tracer Sulky New Zealand Amateur Drivers Series for 2014. Into the lane they come. Alabar Arm at dispatch and the Tracer Sulky New Zealand Amateur Drivers Championship Heat 4. They're underway and there's good early gate speed here with a Vengeance. Gavin Cook's off for the early lead. Classy Ambition back on the inside. McRoyal. They're followed by Handlebar Hank as they turn out of the home straight. Just to its inside, Nicole Viatasova. And on the inside of all of those, so they turn out of the home straight, Pacific Rapture. So that has Handlebar Hank 3 wide on that first corner. Russian El Sue's back with Wainaro Emperor. Back there too is Celtic Warrior back second last, and Mark's Gem last as they pace up into the back. Tracer Sulky, New Zealand Amateur Drivers Series Heat 4, and With a Vengeance leads. Coming up now on the outside, Handlebar Hank, Sheldon Murtha to Sit Park. No, he's not happy there. He's going to press on and find the lead. Lead time in 45.6. That leaves now sitting out parked is Classy Ambition, Michelle Northcott, and 3 back on the inside, McRoyal, Jeff Darby. So they pace off the back, Nicole Viatasova. The ad man Adam White in the 1-1. Back on the inside then, Pacific Raptures locked away, 4 back on the pegs for Steve Phillips. Up over on its outside there now as they pace into the home straight. Was Wainaro Emperor. That's back with Sue Blake. Getting around runners here is Mark's Gem and Paul Wallace getting into the race with 1,200 to go. As they work into the lane, and the last couple are Russian El Sue and Tim Vince. And now relegated back to the tail end of the field. There's Celtic Warrior Warren Rich in the first quarter, 35-5. The leader, Handlebar Hank, the son of Christian Cullen at the bell. Mark's Gem to its outside, 3/4 of a length away as they work the stables corner, their final time. Back on the inside With a Vengeance, enjoying a nice run in the trail. In the 1-1 is Classy Ambition. 3 back on the inside as they pace out to the 850. Was Mac Royal, been covered up then by Nicole Viatasova. Back on the inside, Pacific Rapture, then Wainaro Emperor. Back in the field, Celtic Warrior and Russian El Sue, 31-2 the second quarter. Through the back goes Handlebar Hank and Sheldon Murtha leading by 3/4. Up on the outside is Mark's Gem and getting that nice run in the trail With a Vengeance, waiting for the passing lane. They're followed then by Classy Ambition. Back on the inside, McRoyal. Further back in the field, Nicole Viatasova, still pocketed away on the inside, Pacific Rapture. She's got plenty to offer but nowhere to go. Up over on the outside then is Celtic Warrior. Wainaro Emperor, Russian El Sue, the quarter down the back in 29.8. Handlebar Hank over Mark's Gem, waiting the passing lane With a Vengeance. Down the outside, McRoyal, Pacific Rapture's about to get in the clear and fly down the outside. McRoyal goes to Handlebar Hank. Here's Pacific Rapture, letting down strongly and With a Vengeance, the passing lane. McRoyal, Jeff Darby. Good luck in Finland too in July. Jeff will be up there representing New Zealand in the World Amateur Drivers. He'll get the last heat and get it well. Second, we've got With a Vengeance and Pacific Rapture. They were followed by Handlebar Hank further back in the field, then to Wainaro Emperor, Celtic Warrior, Mark's Gem knocking up Russian El Sue back, as too was Classy Ambition and Nicole Viatasova to be one of the last. 28-5 was the final quarter. Just needed a wee bit of luck across the top to get away from its 3 back on the fence position here. McRoyal, the McCardle 4-year-old, picks up the performance incentive bonus tonight as well. And he's found the line nicely. With a Vengeance through on his inside will run second. Pacific Rapture had her chance, third her lot, and then Handlebar Hank 2:50.8 the overall time. And the New Zealand representative for the World Amateur Drivers coming up in Rahamaki in Tampere, Helsinki. Jeff Darby taking the last of the heats for the New Zealand Amateur Drivers Series for 2014.
Official placings, race 6, the Tracer Sulky New Zealand Amateur Drivers Series Heat 4. 1, 5, 10, 6, 4, 8. 1, 5, 10, 6, 4, 8. Horse 1, McRoyal, paced the 2,200 metres in 250.79, a mile rate of 24.9. Last 858.4, the 428.5. The margins, 3/4 of a length, a half length, 1 length. 1, 5, 10, 6, 4, 8. Race 6, the Tracer Sulky New Zealand Amateur Drivers Series Heat 4.
So the fanfare plays, indicating the performance incentive bonus struck by the owners of Mac Royal, J.G. Hobbs, along with Mrs. R.M. Green, G.R. Bond, M.D. Hollabar and Mrs. D.M. Hollabar. McCardle Renalot, 4-year-old Bay Gelding, win 3 at start 28. David and Claire McGowan trained at Pukekohe and Jeff Darby. President Don Smith of the Franklin Trotting Club down there, part of the victory celebrations for the Tracer Sulky New Zealand Amateur Drivers heat number 4. 5 with a vengeance, and for second, the McCardle Bay 6-year-old gelding, out of matter of fact, raced by T.R. Vince. Tim Vince trained here at Epsom, Gavin Cook. And the 10 Pacific Rapture for third, Better's Delight Bay 4-year-old mare out of Sea Moon, raced by Mrs. S.M. Maguire and M.J. Maguire. Jabanathi trained at Pampakura and Steve Phillips. Totes will see number 1 Mac Royal return. Will return $9.40 and $2.30. $9.40, $2.30. 5 with a vengeance, $2.60, $2.60. 10 Pacific Rapture, $1.70, $1.70. Quinella, $30.70, $30.70. Trifecta, $293.70, $293.70. In the first 4, $1,325.50, $1,325.50. 8 and 1 in the double, $320.30, $320.30. 8 and 5 concession, $42.20, $42.20. And the TAB treble, 1 8 and 1, $6,669.40. $6,669.40. And pick 6 after 2 legs, just 35.14 live units remaining in pick 6. 35.14 live. Well, still 4 legs to go. Don't forget our next race, race 7, first leg of our bonus $50,000 Quaddie tonight. We also open a double on the Ball Brothers handicap trot over the 2,200 metres. So good luck with your Quaddie investments tonight, starting on race 7.
Him back in racing, and I think he's in on Sunday at Ashburton, drawn pretty well. Delta Jerome, he's going to take the power of beating if you want a winner on Sunday. Speaking of Sunday, Otago Racing Club on Sunday, and it's their Think Pink Day, big cancer awareness day, lots of fundraising on board, and yeah, it's going to be a fantastic day. Otago Steeplechase and Otago Hurdles as well, so looking forward to both of those races. And good luck to all connections in the Jewels tomorrow as well. And behind the gate for the last time tonight, Southern Golden Girls Heat number 3. Remus, 210, 140. 590, 160, Miss Pembroke. 680, 230, Flicker and Ember. 690, 160 for Curra's Princess. On their way to the start. The old fold rolling in, nearly ready. 1700. They're off in the last. One of the first away was Remiss from about centre field. Going out fast on the inside is Fern Fever. Right there also is Newman's Jet, and poking up in the centre of all of these runners too is Party Girl Deb. Out wider on the track is Miss Pembroke. Then came Takmar. Well back in the field, then easing back to second to last is Flickering Ember. And back to last is Current's Princess as they come down to the turn. 1,300 metres out. And the pacemaker is the favourite. Remiss up on the outside is Party Girl Deb. Fern Fever back over on the inside in the trail. Hopping into the 1-1 sit now is going to be Newman's Jet as they run through past the 1,200 metre mark. 3 back the inside is Miss Pembroke. On the outside of that now is going to be Takmar. Further back in the field, Flickering Ember second last. And Current's Princess has to go around the lot. 1,000 out from home. 9 lengths over the field. They leave the straight for the final time tonight, the third heat of the Southern Golden Girls. And the leader is Remiss by a length and a quarter. On the outside is Party Girl Deb. Back on the inside, the trailer Fern Fever. In the 1-1, Newman's Jet. 800 to go. Second quarter, 30. On the inside, Miss Pembroke. Now about to peel 3 wide and go forward is Takmar. Flickering Ember gets onto the back of her, and still last is Current's Princess. 600 metres left to run. Remus being looked at in the centre by Party Girl Deb. 3 wide up on the outside of these now. As they work their way down the far side is Takmar. Fern Fever awaits space in the passing lane. Then Newman's Jet. Wider out on the track is Flickering Ember. Miss Pembroke on the inside, and last on the outer Current's Princess. Third quarter, only 30.2. It's been good for Remus in front. From now, Party Girl Deb's done with. On the outside of these, then Takmar. Looming large out wider is Flickering Ember, and Current's Princess is sprinting quickly round the outside. Into the straight, 200 out. Remus, Current's Princess down the outer. Back to the passing lane is Fern Fever. Current's Princess comes at Remus. Fern Fever, Current's Princess from last to first at the quarter. And Current's Princess, another for Walkinshaw and Hunter. Fern Fever second, third in Remus. Next in Flickering Ember, Newman's Jet. Further back, Miss Pembroke, Takmar. Last in Party Girl Deb. 29.5 the last quarter. They've paced around 26.9 for the 1,700. Oh, the punters get out on Current's Princess. Hard to tip a horse off the outside, but she sprinted quickly. Remus had set them up at 30 quarters, and Current's Princess has swooped on them here. And thanks to Hamish and Shane, the 2 value bets of the night get home here. Smiling Armada and Current's Princess gets the last. Good effort. Fern Fever up the passing lane. I think he'll get second. Remus third. That's pretty close though, second and third. And possibly fourth out wide, Flickering Ember, maybe. So there's the last on the card, and Current's Princess gets it at $6 and $1.70. A 4-year-old mare by Mac 3 at a Regent Guest, raced by BP and Mrs. J.R. Muir. And they put the riding on the wall last week with that good effort for fifth. A much weaker field tonight. And she's had to be good from last to first and about 200 metres. And it was a good effort in the end. Game effort from Remus. Just maybe knocked off for second by the Maiden Fern Fever, who will win a race at short notice. Wraps the night. Russell, Ken Dempster's going to wrap it all up for us. Enjoy Jules Day tomorrow, punters, and we'll be back on Sunday at Wingatui for the Otago Racing Club's Jumps Day and Think Pink Race Day. Until then, have a very good evening.
Girl Series, Heat 3, mobile pace. All placings confirmed. The winner is 8, then 1, 5, 2, 6, 7. The call again, 8, 1, 5, 2, 6, 7. The margins 3/4 of length, a nose, 2 3/4 lengths. The winner's time, 2:07.44, a mile rate of 2 minutes, 0.6. The last 800, 59, the 400, 29.5. Sorry, the 800, 59.8. To check in, 815267.
And Jules Day tomorrow starts with Adore Me at 11:43. $6 and $1.70, Current's Princess, Fern Fever $3 and Remiss $1.40. 1/8 Quinella 31.30, trifecta 231.20. The first four $1,774.50. 815 and 2, and the last one, the 12/8 double, is $57.50. Concession double $30.80, and the treble $367.50. The Quaddie of 5, 11, 12 and 8 returns $2,624.20. Place 6, $49.20, $49.20. That wraps up action from Forbury Park with Maddie Williamson on 10 points. The clear favourite in the Streamline Freight Driver Challenge gets the victory, 3 points ahead of Shane Walkinshaw, who was under the any other individual bet option. 2 races remain for the dogs at Hattrick, and race number 11 is the first of the remaining 2 open class sprints. The Paul Freeman Angela Turnwald Kennel has 3 in here right next to each other, the 3, the 4 and the 5, so hopefully they don't get in each other's way here. Run Lacey Run is the favourite, 251.40, 380 in money back for the bitch by Run Jake Run, who is looking for win 30. She's been quite exceptional. Outside of the Freeman Turnwall camp, you've got Lisa Ahern with Exceptional Lily, Exponential Lily, of course, 460. Leadfoot Lenny to the inside there for Lana Udy. Handy inside record for it. It's $7 and $2.10. Then you get to some of the outsiders in the field, including those 2 ones out wide who are $20 or $30 option 111. Well, Rozzo, a nice way to conclude your program with a couple of open grade races. And in the first of those, Run Lacey Run, it's the favourite here. It's $3.60 on the toe.
And Russell, she's been a fabulous performer, as you say. She's looking for a career win 30 in just the 68 starts, and she's been win-miss lately. She can go back-to-back, though. She was fastest of the night, 17:44, beating Popsome Tags, who goes around in the last tonight. She's not always the quickest off the boxes, in fact, very rarely these days, but she came out running from box 1 last week and held out Popsome Tags. Box number 3, she doesn't want to loiter at all for a stride, but she certainly, once she gets into her work, she's very good and she's strong through the sprints. So I thought she needed to go on top. The 4 Nitro Lewis doesn't usually begin particularly quickly either. I can just see an opportunity for him to get a run at them here, though. He was a winner 2 starts back. It sort of says 1-1-1 that he led throughout. It wasn't quite that way. He wasn't that quickly off the boxes. He might have got to the front by the first bend. And that's where they look at it. So he, again, he can give them a bit of a start, but once he gets wound up, he's very good. The 6 Exponential Lily, if the 3, the 4, and others just made ordinary beginnings, well, he's the one that can put himself on the pace. Now, last week he got checked very early out of the boxes, but prior to that he was the winner of the Wellington Premier Sprint here at the Wellington Greyhound Racing Club's meeting, and he could very quickly bounce back to that. So I wouldn't imagine that he'll be beaten out by the dogs around him, so I'd expect Exponential Lily to be right in the party from the hop. Off the inside, Leadfoot Lenny, good to have him back. His sister won earlier, Vicky's Quest. We haven't seen him since late March, though. Thought he was a wee bit of a risk. He's off box 1, sure, but he's only had 1 win this alley. That was 5 starts back, Class 4 company in a 17.72. So I'd expect him to go a nice race, but gee, short enough, 360. I certainly wouldn't be backing him the tote. He's into $6 the book, and he was 750 into 7, now 6. So Class 4 winner, 5 starts back from box number 1, and since then he's been pretty bold. And Class 5 company ran 3rd last Friday night and behind Homebush Crash, so no reason to suggest that he couldn't run another cheeky race, at least for some of the money. Riggs, well, here he is for his 2nd sprint start. He's not a natural sprinter. He was a good winner 4 starts back from this alley over the middle distance, although that was back in mid-March. He hasn't had a lot of recent racing, so he comes in fresh. I'd expect him to downgrade here, run 4th or worst. He ran 3rd from box 1 in a sprint here 21st of February behind It'd be a bit of a surprise to see him get some of it, and I'd look out for him in a Class 4 middle distance race in future if he doesn't run in the top 3 here. You know, Orange, box 7, about to downgrade 2, you would think, and Isabel Domain off the outside. We haven't sighted since mid-April, but it's a tough quest for her. Crombie Lockwood Limited Class 5, first leg of the last double. Leadfoot Lenny resumes the inside. Run Lacey Run, box number 3, is the favourite, $2.80 now. Riggs box 5, and out in 7 is You Know Orange. Second line going forward here. Inazuma, Nitro Lewis, Exponential Lily, Isabel Domain. Handy enough, they'd be followed through then by Riggs. Exponential Lily hasn't jumped tonight, and the last pair are Orange, and back with that then Isabel Domain. Up to the corner comes Leadfoot Lenny in front. Run Lacey Run shoots the inside, down the outside Inazuma. Whoa, Run Lacey Run gets through on Leadfoot Lenny and scores. Inazuma probably third. Ooh, not far away was Nitro Lewis. Exponential Liddy. Riggs was between those runners too. Good line up for fourth, fifth, the sixth. Orange and Isabel Domain were out the back. Well, Lenny's gone a beauty, but he hasn't been able to hold out Run Lacey Run, who's had the last shot at him. Zuma's got another beauty. And then a good lineup thereafter. Leadfoot Lenny in front. Now, Run Lacey Run got to a nice position the inside of Inazuma. Exponential Lily, after a slow beginning, starts to get into it. Nitro Lewis running the rail, and Riggs charging up centre track. Down they come. Lacey gets in the telling strides from Leadfoot Lenny. And Inazuma third, and then fourth, fifth, sixth. Well, it'll be Riggs in the middle. And then near enough a dead heat for fifth, but Jack and Peter can sort that out between them. And we can have a look at the head-on shot here. Leadfoot Lenny gets away pretty well. Run Lacey Run third early, switches in behind effectively in the trail. She looked good from there. Still some work to do though, as they get around that first bend. First six were pretty tight, and the 78 were out the back there. Run Lacey Run, a black bitch by Run Jake Run out of Corborn Stacey. Raced by Angela Turmoil, Craig Rendell. Gets another success to go with the Advanced Racing Series tonight with Really Clever and racingdogs.co.nz. Paul Freeman, Angela Turmoil train at Foxton. Win 30, start 69. She's been wonderful. She cracked the 50,000 when she won last week. Nothing official there for fourth, but you'd have to think Riggs got there, and it's probably fifth that they're sorting out anyway. The last, quite a tight turnaround, the last here. Russell, we're underway at 9:35.
Yeah, straight after Alexandra Park, we're back with you, Rozzo, so we'll stand by for the 12th, again, an open class sprint, but we are heading to Alexandra Park for the next. And Craig, as we rejoin you, it's been tough in pick 6 so far, so maybe a go at the Quaddie, the 50.